hoping it's gonna be ready.
Fair. Okay.
Are we on YouTube or?
Yes, we are now.
Okay, so hold off anything I don't want for public consumption.
Yeah, probably. I mean, nobody's there yet, but that's only because, I'm working on it. Okay.
I'm just bummed Ginger's you're going to be on the show because I was looking forward to you and Mike going off about fucking the Bruins.
Oh, Mike, I love pissing him off, but it's all true, the stuff that I talk about, so...
Oh, yeah. No, I've been saying for years Rask is a fucking choke artist.
That is the one thing that Shirelli fucked us on and left us fucked on.
No, he left us fucked on a lot of things.
But that was our main thing, though.
He left a fuck ton of bad contracts there, and yeah.
So since I sent that picture, my computer has gone up 2%.
Cool.
So I'm working on it.
Are you listening to how you sound on the broadcast, Troy? I can launch it and tell you. Holy shit, that's a close-up of Ginger's face.
Ugh.
There's such a delay. It's real. I think I figured out what it was, though. But I just gotta see if it worked. You can keep talking. You don't have to.
Greenie, I just got a message from Mike. It says, I take it back. They are the shits.
It's not they, it's him.
It's him, especially on that breakaway goal. The penalty shot. Oh my god!
You can't give up a 5-hole goal like that. You just can't.
It wasn't even a 5-hole goal.
The third one was.
The third one was. The second one, it was. It's like he didn't even try to do it. It was awful. Awful.
Turned on the Red Sox.
Mm.
Look back. Are they? Where is it still 3-2? Or 3-1, I should say.
Are you in the bathroom?
Me?
Not you. The guy who has a shower curtain behind him.
It's not a shower curtain. It's a window curtain.
It looks like a shower curtain.
A window curtain for your shower.
I like to show off a little bit. I think Greenie said that the first episode too. Is it? Are you in your bathroom?
It's not a shower curtain. What the fuck? I'm still echoey. I have one audio device and it's just my computer. Why is it doing it where it's taking it from my fucking microphone and from the computer at the same time? I don't fucking get it.
He is the shits.
Who's the shits?
Tuca. Oh, we're up to 19%. See, Christ. He is the shits.
heating off.
Jesus Christ.
What are you fucking doing? Are you typing? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
What is that buzzing?
That is. That was Sal.
I figured it out.
I just put it on silent, so.
I got it now. And yeah, we can hear every time you get a message because it's going boop. Just
Yeah,
so you know.
I just silenced it, so. Oh, what the fuck, dude? Like, look at it. It's just sitting there.
Well, at least Tampa Bay lost, too.
Garbage.
Well, I'm gonna fix our setup as soon as we get more people in this call.
Yeah.
So right now it's 3 different sized windows for us. I don't know if we've got it open or not yet. Okay, so I gotta share this link to our
So-
Facebook. Go ahead.
When did the Bucks lose game 1?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
Oh, you don't know the schedule yet?
No,
Okay.
I've been a little busy.
I know the Celtics play Sunday at 1 because I scheduled fucking baseball practice Sunday at 1, so of course that's when they would fucking start.
Oh, fucking
Are you wearing pants this week, Ginger?
C.
Okay. I'm glad the answer was yes, because if you did that and the answer was no, we would have gotten kicked off of YouTube.
You know, I thought about just throwing boxers on, that was it. And if you asked, I was going to do that exact thing. Yep. 21%.
Well, Troy accused me of having no pants on last week, so.
Well, I mean, you did take your shirt off, so.
There's a very logical reason for that, though.
Okay, so there's Sal.
Ah!
All right, so the link is shared on Facebook and Twitter. So maybe we'll start getting some people here.
Sal, how come only one of us can see you?
I don't know.
Whatever's wrong with your phone appears to be wrong with your Skype, too.
Why?
Wait,
Because
no-
there's too many people on the call?
you
No one else can see you except me.
How do you know that?
Well, because I don't see your face. I hear you.
Yeah, I could see your face.
I don't see Taz.
That's weird. Oh. There you
now-
are. Oh, you left
Now-
Let's see to that.
Nice.
Oh, my God.
That was perfect. All right.
I was hoping you guys were going to catch on and play along with that.
Took me a second. I figured it out. You guys can talk. People are watching us.
So, how many Skype recordings are we doing?
17.
No, do you seriously need me to Skype record? Because I've never done it before.
I don't think so. I should probably check to make sure that mine is going. It is not. Good thing that we weren't recording yet. No, we should be okay because we'll have mine and Jason.
Okay.
I'm not fucking kidding you guys. I tried every single thing I could with my phone today. I went online. I reset back to factory settings. I pulled the fucking SIM card out. Like, all this shit.
You realize you never actually told us what the problem was.
I don't know what the problem was. I didn't do anything different than everything I tried today. I tried again when I got home, and then as I was eating dinner, all of a sudden I literally got 85 text messages at once.
Was there a solar flare today? Do we know?
There's a black hole. My phone went into a black hole.
Yeah.
Well, so did the Red Sox. So that's okay.
No, just their pitching. Just their pitching.
No, their hitting's pretty much sucks.
No, yeah, they're all around garbage. Right now.
I turned it on tonight, and they got 3 runs in 1 inning, so I was pretty impressed by that, considering. But
I'm going to the game tomorrow, so
they're gonna win.
I'm gonna freeze my ass off. That's what I'm gonna do.
No, it's gonna be like 60 something tomorrow.
No, that's Saturday. Tomorrow's gonna be like 40 something.
Ugh, it's fucking New England. Although we shouldn't talk. Ginger's up in New Hampshire, and it's probably like 10 degrees out there right now.
Troy's in fucking Wisconsin, dude.
Well, no, Troy's a whole nother. Troy gets like -20, and it's like summertime.
You realize that it's snowing right now, right?
Is it? Oh no, you're not getting that huge like catastrophic end of the world storm that they were talking about in Colorado, are you?
We got like 5 inches today.
Okay.
So not catastrophic, but it was like sleet and hail and shit like that.
Dude, Ginger's wife gets like 5 inches once a week, so.
Was that your friend?
No comment.
Alright, I'll be right back.
So none of you guys knew Paige Van Zandt? Jason, I'm disappointed in you.
I know who she is. I immediately recognize her from the picture, but given the fucking pictures that have been floating around that thread lately, I was a little skeptical right off the bat.
Yeah. Like the picture I sent you of Scarlett Bardot earlier.
Yeah, well, I had somebody at fucking work looking over my shoulder. Yeah, it was great.
Hey, again, with all the fucking shit that Troy sends, I didn't think one picture was going to be a problem.
Well, reading something in a picture are pretty different.
Yeah, the acoustics in your bathroom are much better, Ginger. This is a good place.
Now I'm feeling better.
I hope Giannis tears his fucking ACL, you dick.
How's it going?
I don't wish that upon him.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't wish that on anybody. I hate it.
I hope Tuca blows his ACL, though.
Why? What's up? Why are you hating on Tuga?
He's mad
Tuca's a
because-
piece of shit.
Well, yeah, he is. This is true.
If it's a big game, Tuca's going to choke. It's what he does. It's what he's always done.
They should have taken him out as soon as they scored that penalty shot. They should have put Halleck in, because considering Halleck is a backup goalie and he has better save percentage than Tuca all season, you figured they'd go with the better save percentage person. But
You would think a person with a Bruins logo on his shirt would know that it's Halak.
Halleck, Halak,
I'm just saying. I don't even watch that much hockey.
Halak, whatever.
I watch enough hockey to know that Tuca was supposed to be the chosen one after
Dude,
oh my
Tuca
God.
has failed.
2011. Who was the fucking guy in 2011?
Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas.
Well, the thing is, too, though, Rask was originally the starting goal then, and then Thomas had to carry him through the playoffs
It's true.
and win the cup because Rask is dog shit.
No, he's fine if the game doesn't mean anything.
Oh no, he's still dog shit.
To be fair, he helped a lot when we went in the finals against the Blackhawks.
You mean before he blew the last game 6, giving
Yep.
up 2 goals in 2 minutes?
Yep.
Yes, right before that.
Right when they were about to force a game 7.
Where was the defense on that play?
Okay, listen. The defense has to do multiple things. The goalie has one fucking job.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I couldn't believe they didn't get.
And by the way, he's amongst the top 3 highest paid in the league to do that one fucking job.
Was he at 2013 when they were in the finals? I know they gave him the big contract. I just don't remember which
Yeah,
year.
'cause that was the year he won the Vezina.
Okay. Fucking.
God.
Well, don't talk about highest paid players, because I mean we got a Red Sox team full of them. Let's be honest here. They give.
Fine, I'm not-
They gave.
Price, and I love my dog.
Fuck him. They gave Chris Sale $100 million, and he was like, don't have to try anymore.
We won the
All right,
championship.
you fucking get that they barely pitched in spring training, right? They're essentially still in spring training.
Well, that's their own fault then.
Well, no, but the fucking
The point of spring training is to get ready for the regular season.
right. But when they threw a ton of fucking innings in the postseason last year, and Alex Cora's job is to have them fresh and ready to go in October, April you don't so much give a shit about. Be honest.
Well, right now they fucking care because if they keep up like this, they
Have you looked at the rest of the division? They're all playing like dog shit right now. The Yankees are below 500 too.
yeah, but they're not three.
Not at all fucking worried. Talk to me at the All-Star break when they're 4 games in first place.
Oh, I got one better for you. If they've only won 5 games by the middle of May, we got a big problem.
It's 2 weeks into the season.
And they're what,
This
2
is
and
Boston.
12?
This is Boston. They're 3-9.
Oh wow, 3 and 9.
They're 6 games below, and they're 6 games below 500 and 4 games back of first place. Do that fucking math.
Fine, but they don't look good. They're out there fucking getting their ass kicked. It's not even close. It's not like they're losing 1-0 games.
They're losing by 40.
Sucks.
I'm sorry. Maybe we should figure out a way to just end the game in ties, like fucking hockey.
What do you mean? The games don't end in
Not anymore.
No, exactly.
Most of my life they did. Fucking dedicate 3 hours of my life to something that ends in a goddamn tie. Fuck your hockey, okay?
Old as fuck, dude.
Also, a subtle shot at soccer, apparently.
Well, soccer sucks.
Soccer's fucking. I think that's one thing we can all agree on.
I don't know, Troy, you like soccer?
No, I fucking hate it. So,
One thing I do love about watching hockey, though, and I think it's my favorite part of hockey, is like, no, that's fine, but no, my favorite part is the commentators. Because, like, in baseball, in baseball, you can tell when something's about to happen. Like, in every other sport, you can tell when you're close to something happening. Hockey will be the one sport where the announcers will be like, well, yeah, so I spoke with the coach earlier today. Go! Like, fucking...
All right.
Now picture this. Morrow calling a hockey game.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Sal.
What?
Do you remember the 1991 Minnesota Twins?
I knew of them.
Okay. You understand that they won the World Series, correct?
Kirby Puckett, right?
Yeah. Care to guess what they started their season at? 2-9. It doesn't fucking matter.
Out of that base.
You know the Red Sox won 119 games last year.
Yeah, and they're probably going to win 100 games this year.
I was going to say they're on pace to lose 119 this year.
Yeah, because it's a small sample size, bro. Okay, the fucking.
Have you looked at the rest of the fucking standings, dude?
No, I know. It's just I can't believe the pitching is this awful. It's been really bad.
Dude,
it's totally expected if you watch this team in the spring.
Dude, the 2002 Angels started the year 6-14 and won the World Series.
Chris Sale pitched 5 innings in spring training. That was it. So exactly how sharp are you expecting him to be?
Mine's an actual jersey, so.
What do you mean? Mine's a jersey.
Yours looks like something that you picked up at a fucking bargain outlet store. So.
I thought you were gonna say St. Patty's Day parade.
That could work too. Mine has my name on the back of it, which I'm not going to show because we're live.
Yeah, but you know what? At least.
Wait, is he actually wearing a? Wait, but you're not from Toronto.
At least Boston actually has a team.
Yeah.
That's
Are you just rooting for the Maple Leafs just because you hate?
No,
Boston?
he's rooting for the Maple Leafs because Wisconsin can't even get a fucking hockey team.
We have the Admirals. No, dude, I've been a Maple Leafs fan for a long time. In case you hadn't realized, this is the old logo. I've been a fan for a long time.
I love fucking one of my favorite things in the world is trolling fucking Malonis every time something happens with the Lakers. So when
Magic, he's a Lakers fan?
Oh yeah, big Lakers fan. So when Magic quit the other day, the first thing I did was I fucking texted him. I'm like, so LeBron's already killed your coach and your GM in year 1. Way to fucking go!
And even the GM, the president of basketball operations, the guy who they have a statue of outside of the Staples Center, resigned because of LeBron.
Bruins tired. In his defense, he really, really likes tampering, and now he can do it without a problem. So,
There we go.
how'd they get this?
Such a fucking baby. It's pathetic.
Mitch Moreland is like their best fucking player right now. 5th home run tonight. Jesus Christ. Oh, I know what I was here for. Standings. Let's see.
I fixed you, Ginger.
Huh?
Holy shit, the Rays are 10-3?
You were
Ugh.
elongated on the call. Now you're.
Actually, Blake
Oh.
Snell's been pitching really good. Back to his Cy Young form.
Back to his Cy Young form. He should have won the Cy Young last year.
But he did win the Cy Young last
Yeah.
year.
So you don't get back to something that you just fucking were in the previous season, dude.
Well,
You're
then what's for
still
sale
doing
right
it.
now?
So as bad as they are, they're 6.5 games back. The fucking Yankees are 5-7. The fucking Astros.
To sports talk.
Jason, who's pitching tomorrow night, bro?
Who's catching? Because I'm pitching.
Well, I'm going to the game, so it's probably like fucking Hector Velasquez or something.
Oh, I didn't know if you looked it up.
Congratulations, Troy. Toronto just took game 1.
Eduardo.
Did they really?
Well, they just scored an empty netter. There's only $1.50 left, and it's 4-1.
I just saw the update now. Son of a bitch.
In case you had forgotten, I've been a Toronto Maple Leafs fan through a lot of bad years.
You know what I hated about...
In case you've forgotten, remember the last time they played in the playoffs? And
I do. So I will take a win any chance I get.
Why? Because
You watch the clip every
So-
time you see it somewhere.
talk to me when you close out Game 7. We'll see.
Hey man, it's the mentality. It's a different mentality. When you win a lot of championships, you
Yeah, because like the
respect a lot.
fucking Bucks have a chant mocking their own team's playoff history that they chant at. That's a loser fan base that doesn't deserve a winning
I
team.
don't.
So fuck them.
No, you're just saying.
Oh!
You're just saying that because you're upset. Because
I respect the Bucks right now in
Honestly,
2019.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The Bruins could get fucking swept, and my life does not change at all. It doesn't.
No. That's fine. But I'm just saying I respect the Bucks a lot more than I respect the Packers right now. I'm just saying
why?
Aaron Rodgers is not the stuff I'm hearing about him and Mike.
Oh, you know what,
McCarthy.
Sal? Shove it up your ass,
Dude,
because Brady's a
shove
dickhead
it.
too, and
He is, but guess what? He's not where Aaron Rodgers is right now.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
where the
Because-
fuck is Jeff?
I know
That's the
what I was
question.
wondering. You need to take the source into account.
Fair.
Jermichael Finley is a failed tight end who is bitter because the team cut him. The guys who left.
He's
free
also
agency-
never gotten a job since he got cut.
Yeah.
So
Greg Jennings, the guy who left us for the Vikings, turned around and said, "This is all bullshit. It's a smear campaign. Rodgers is a great leader."
Alright.
Okay? Remember the source. Can Rodgers be a prima donna? Yeah, they all are. Every single fucking one of them. Was Mike McCarthy a piece of shit? Yeah, he was.
No, I was gonna say I
and
think
oh, by the
McCarthy's
way,
a piece of
every
shit.
player can have a different experience with a guy.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown will tell you Ben Roethlisberger's a horrible leader
Yeah.
when guys up and down that roster will tell you he'll fucking kill for his teammates.
Right.
So
God bless you, dear.
he'll rape for his teammates.
Dude, yeah.
So
And Jermichael Finley's saying all this shit, and Rodgers came out and said, "Oh, I must have been a terrible leader when I was one of the first people in the fucking hospital when you broke your neck and stayed there for hours to make sure you were okay. That makes me a terrible leader." All right, you got fucking Antonio Brown going around fucking screaming that everyone on his team was a bunch of assholes, and guess what the rest of his team are saying? You're the asshole. All right, you got to
Well,
consider the
Le'Veon Bell
source,
said
man.
the same thing, but it's all it always happens when people leave a team or they're not happy with the organization that they left a couple years ago, like Jermichael Finley. I'll give
Okay.
you that.
Then why did you say that you disrespected the Packers because Aaron Rodgers is all right, whatever. We're not even gonna get into it because otherwise I'm gonna
I think
visually punch you. I'm going to virtually punch you in the fucking mouth.
I think the thing we need to all come to grips with is the fact
Hey,
that
Jeff.
the Bucks will be the third team in history to lose to an 8 seed in 6 games. So as long as we're all on board with that, we can move forward.
Blake Griffin and the Pistons aren't beating the Bucks, dude. Come on.
Turn on the light. So you can all see me, you know.
You know,
Yeah. I
you
think
wanna
Jeff is about to enter the tunnel of hell.
Yeah.
You want to know the updates, the upset special in round one? Honestly,
Did you frost the tips?
it's the fucking Nets over the fucking Sixers.
Oh, I hope so. That would be amazing.
Without Embiid, I like that Sixers team actually. The Nets team actually.
Why are you so big now?
Basketball.
When
So
you
what?
go to the small screen, it's like zooming in.
Oh, okay. There we go.
It did that to me too on Ginger's face.
No, he was really close to the camera, is what it was.
I got to see all of Ginger's shower curtain. It was
Is not Ginger? Is Jeff like in some type of abstract art gallery? What is going on here?
Oh yeah, I moved rooms. Yeah,
I like how he looks too. He's like, what?
Yeah, I don't know what's in here. I don't. Such a weird room. It's also very.
given some of the shit
totally-
you had us pass along to the host thread for you today, Sal. You really shouldn't be mocking anybody
Shut
else.
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
yeah,
Did you get a
public
chance to
bath-
read through some of the
They're
things
not.
that you...
Oh yes, I did. That's why I correct. I said motherfucker. I should have said motherfuckers.
Sal asked me to pass along that he's not gay, but $50 is $50.
Assholes. That's what goes on in the host thread when I'm not even there to see it. Fine.
That's hot as
Fine.
balls.
That's what started it. Actually, I was gonna text something about Pat McCaffrey, and it didn't go through. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Who?
Because I guess he went on some radio. Pat McAfee,
McAfee?
whatever the fuck, the punter,
McCaffrey.
the guy who showed up in shorts.
Where'd Jeff go?
He's up top.
Well, like Ed McCaffrey when you play for the Broncos.
Chris McCaffrey, the Carolina Panthers. No,
We haven't even started the show and you already mispronounced something.
oh, it's gonna be one of those nights. Promise you that.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
There's an echo in here. It's gonna fuck me up.
This is going to be a bad episode of my end.
Why? Oh, because you're drinking.
Oh, we're all drinking.
Tiny again.
Oh, no. No, I got this.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Already
Oh.
starting.
2 Pepsis and a Coke.
I have water in a Carlos Gomez cup.
I
have Coke.
had water.
And
I'll probably get more
cocaine.
water later.
and I have Frappuccino.
Were they all out of cups of good players?
That's all they offered. It was no. I got it the year he was good. Then he forgot how to play again.
Speaking of good, Bronny hit a home run the other night. It's like, who was it?
Fucking Jesus
Still
Christ!
playing?
Every once in a while, Sal reminds me of like that old man that sits on the bench and tries to find something to relate to you. Hey, young whippersnapper. I once had a handheld Game Boy system. They still make those? Great. Yeah, my Braun is still playing. He probably still has HGH in his asshole. It's fine.
So it sort of reminds me of the dude in the office that does fantasy football but doesn't really ever watch football and like just so he'll feel like a part of the group. Like,
Hey,
hey, fucking
how many points
Julio Jones scored a touchdown for me.
How many points did that Pat McCaffrey make? A lot of them?
How many goals did he get?
Uh-huh.
That's waste more fucking time. It's not like we have 9 hours to cover tonight or nothing.
We were waiting for fucking Jeff to finally show up.
Jeff is here.
I see.
Yeah,
I see that.
I wasted 10 minutes. So
I saw Jew guy Schuster Smith scored a touchdown. That was cool. I bet he got a lot of points, right? Yeah. He did.
all right.
Sorry, I'm not up on my Brewers players. Other than Christian Yelich, who is your best player who you got from the Marlins.
There's like 3 people that you might know. That's it, dude. Most
Yeah,
of the
because
guys
I don't
are
watch the
young,
Brewers.
Right, and we're a small market team, so no one talks about us.
True.
Everybody knows your Red Sox players because
Pat
Even-
McAfee wasn't a Brewers player, but Okay.
That's why he doesn't know his name. 'Cause
No.
he's a Colts player.
Pat McAfee.
Well, no, but
jackass.
he said sorry, I'm not up on my Brewers players, and the whole thing started.
I was
because
talking
of Pat
about Braun.
McAfee.
No, I was talking about Ryan Braun.
Yeah, he talked about
Braun
Braun.
Strom.
He knows Ryan Braun. He knows Christian Yelich, and he probably knows Josh Hader because he said some things about black people.
Well, that's
and
why you know him.
You might know Mike Moustakas.
From the Royals, yes, I know Mike Moustakas. Originally from the Royals, I should say.
You might know Freddie Galvis because he just hit another fucking home run off the Red Sox.
We're losing again?
That's not a Brewers
6-5.
Move on.
Okay, Jason,
Yes.
you're up here on me.
Oh, you get Eduardo Rodriguez, by the way, tomorrow night.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I said that 10 minutes ago when you asked who was pitching tomorrow.
Do
I didn't hear
have
you.
Your Skype recorder going.
I do.
All right,
I do as well.
Jeff, you're down here. You do as well.
Why does it matter?
You know what?
Sal does not. Ginger is on the toilet. All right.
You literally in your bathroom, dude?
Yes, the acoustics are better.
The bathroom. This
You have
is
a bathroom
my
connected to your bathroom?
Fucking white people.
Jesus Christ.
white people things.
Okay.
Should I get Audacity ready too?
No.
Yeah.
No, because ain't nobody try to put that together. Shit
Yeah,
goes-
if Skype Recorder doesn't do this shit, it's a lost episode.
No, it's not. We have YouTube.
Fair enough.
We're streaming on
That's
YouTube
true.
right now. The
Oh,
episode
right. That's why I gotta
be
keep the
possible.
video on.
Troy
Goddamn.
remembers. That's the old school way.
So
The old school. Just rip the audio off YouTube.
if my computer
Let's see how it goes.
decides to finally update, I will end up switching to that. So
That's fine.
I'm turning the video off to save it for the good parts.
That's fine. It just means I have to fix.
Like when I have the cum shot on the camera, you know, that kind of stuff.
Ew, Jeff. Jesus. You know we're live on YouTube
What?
already, right?
Yeah, but there's only one person watching other than me, so, and I assume that's Jason.
I
I thought it was
cum. I
Mathers.
didn't come yet. I didn't come yet.
Hey,
It's like that. It's like that awkward thing when like you're jerking off and your dog walks by you right as you come and accidentally gets on your dog.
Jesus Christ. It's like
Funny because
you.
the dog's been on many episodes.
I don't have a dog. I got cats.
Yep, I got 2 cats.
Yeah, you got a dog shit basketball team, no?
You also get alliteration. You can come on your cats.
That's true.
It's better.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yes, officer. That comment right there. All right. The the matchup today is already up, so we just have to get it onto Reddit either today or tomorrow. But
Yeah, send me a graphic and do it tomorrow.
I sent you 4 of them for this week, didn't I?
No, you sent me last week's for the. Unless you sent it tonight.
No, I thought you sent them today.
Yeah.
No,
It's-
he sent the 4 matchups that were going on this week.
I sent,
so we can get the last vote up.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because I thought I sent you the ones that were Carmela, Zelina Vega, Tony Storm, Zaya Brookside. No?
Nope.
All right, I'll look into it.
Unless your phone pulled a Sal's phone.
Might have. Maybe.
Was your phone in sexual contrast with Adam's phone?
I don't think so.
Didn't Adam say he was coming on?
No,
No.
come on.
I invited him.
You get a bad chance of seeing Christ.
I have a better chance of seeing someone who doesn't exist. That's a weird way to put that. All right.
We just lost our 5 watchers.
Let's see here what I got. Yeah, dude. See, I sent them to you. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say when he said Tony Storm versus Selena Vega, that did ring a bell.
I never got him.
Okay, well, I'm doing it because remember I made a joke because I did the Carmela's nip slip and Zelina Vega's titty pics.
Nope, never got that either.
And I sent all 4 of them, and then
Oh, okay.
after that is when we had the dog bird thing in the media. So here, let me send them again. La da da. La da 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 da. Here, tell me if you get that. If you don't, burn your phone. Did anyone get him?
Is this all an elaborate ruse to get me to scroll back up to that picture of the?
Of the chick with the dick? No.
Yeah.
No. Look, I'm showing
I
you
just
right now. See?
Yep, I just got him.
two of them.
See?
Yeah, I got them. They're. Wait, no, you did send these.
I told you I did.
I still haven't gotten them. So.
Yeah, he.
Oh, now I did.
You got them all?
Yeah, you sent them like earlier this morning or this afternoon, right?
Yeah, now I got them.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had them all done up and ready. So.
All right, now I gotta go jerk it off. I'll be back.
All right, so let's start this ship.
Wait, where's Jeff?
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let me put my video up. Right.
All right. Whew. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. It is a big fucking show today because we have WrestleMania to talk about and, as always, amazing shows. The Raw and SmackDown after Wait, nope. I'm being told that is not factual this year. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit. First, let's figure out who's in this giant pot of man meat. I am your co-host, Troy. With me, as always, Jason is here.
So, are we no longer an intentionally offensive wrestling podcast?
We're always intentionally offensive. I just don't
Oh.
have that up right now.
Oh, okay.
Joining us this week, Sal is here.
If you're gonna talk WrestleMania, there's only one person that should be on this show.
Triple H.
But I welcome everybody else.
Also with us, because 3's not enough. No. Ginger is here.
What's up, you dirty douchebag lickers?
But wait.
That's the show.
But wait. There's more. Because we can't do it with just 4 people. No. We're going straight circle jerking this motherfucker because returning to the Rundown Wrestling Podcast this week, Jeff is here.
Hi.
Perfect.
God, I missed that.
Perfection. So yes, it is Troy, Jason, Sal, Jeff, and Ginger in a action-packed, gigantic fucking round table of douchebags. And
When are we getting naked?
we are currently live on YouTube. Now, if you didn't get a chance to listen to this live, don't worry. Head on over to the Rundown Wrestling YouTube account and you will see the feed, the live feed of all of us, recorded obviously, any point in time that you want. It will also be posted on therundownwrestling.com. So, before we get into the show proper, we need a little explanation for what goes on over on the YouTubes. And for that, we go to Jason.
Yes, so if you are watching us live on YouTube, I encourage you to look at the right-hand side of your screen. You'll see a little chat box. We call it the Smathers Lounge. That motherfucker ain't in there. But you could slide your pants off, slide some lotion on the delicate areas, and contribute to the discussion. Let us know your thoughts and feelings on WrestleMania, Raw, SmackDown, or whatever else you want to talk about, and we will read those comments on the show.
Let me tell you, that drink's not very good. All right. So, this week we had the last 4 matchups in our second round of the hottest female WWE talent tournament. And let me tell you, this week was a big one. We only had 4 matchups, but we had over 1,400 votes cast this week of the 4 different ones, putting us right in line with how we normally do. And, motherfuckers, we set some records again. So we start off with our first matchup, and it was a record-setting event because on Thursday, Paige took on Io Shirai, and this one broke the previous vote total record with a total of 449 votes, one shy of 450. And it was a hotly contested one between Paige and Io Shirai. So before we announce the winner, let's go ahead and go around. Yeah, it's fine. He'll be back. He's like a cat. He gets distracted by things and just disappears. Let's go around the table here and see who the hosts would have picked in this matchup. Starting with Ginger.
Paige, right off the bat. I believe Jason was the one that pointed this out last week. Doing anal really helps the votes.
It's true. We don't know that Io doesn't do it, but we know for a fact
True.
Paige does.
Yeah.
Jason, who was your pick?
I'm sorry, I was watching Paige's videos. I went with Paige. The English accent is always an X factor for me in this case.
There you go. Sal.
I wasn't going to, but then I discovered some new videos from Paige, or new to me at least, so I went with Paige.
Fair enough. Jeff, between Paige
So
and
whoa. So you found a new angle of her asshole, and that changed your voting opinion? Like,
This,
Yep.
See, the sun was at like 1 o'clock, and it, it just hit it just right.
this is why I love having Sal on. He'll just say some shit that just boggles the mind.
Jeff, Paige or Io Shirai?
I went Io Shirai because I like Asian women.
I do as well, which is why I picked Io Shirai. With a brand new champion of the votes, getting more votes than anyone has gotten in this tournament so far, 285 votes. Paige is moving on.
As well, sure.
Io Shirai did have 164 votes, so no slouch in this one at all.
Lost by 120 votes. It's a pretty wide margin.
Oh, I didn't say she didn't.
So's
get-
Paige's asshole.
Yeah, I didn't say. I didn't say she didn't get curb stomped. I said she did good in the votes. She wasn't like per se Mia Yim, who's coming up in a little bit here. Spoiler alert. Our next matchup on Friday saw Natalia and Charlotte Flair go at it. Nothing about that is hot. But
Strong disagree.
so, I, forced to pick between the two of these people, picked a gun to my head and killed myself. Jeff, who did you pick?
Well, you go one's farting out of her pussy and the other one's got CD cases for ass cheeks. So I went with pussy farts.
All right. Sal.
Hey, Charlotte paid a lot of money to get our attention. I went with Charlotte.
Twice. She paid a lot of money twice to get our attention.
Twice.
No, I don't think she paid that much the first time.
Exactly.
I think Rick might have done him.
Plus, you've seen Natalia's face in that picture compared to what she looks like now. She paid a lot of money too.
Yeah, that's true. Jason.
I went with Natalia because as much as she can be an annoying pain in the ass and she can't wrestle all that well, she's very pleasantly thick. So I went with her.
All right. I mean, we weren't talking about. We just got done talking about having a pain in the ass with Paige. Ginger.
It's not a pain if you stretch it out far enough, I
She
think.
did get it ready. She got it ready.
She did say that in one of her videos.
I went with Natalia. She's thicker. Charlotte, I can't. I don't find her attractive. Her body just is awkward looking, like I said last week. So I went Natalia.
Ginger likes them thick. Can we add Nia Jax back as a wild card for Ginger?
No.
Sure. So, with a vote of 221 to 108, Natalia's moving on.
Really?
Now,
2 for 2 this week.
here's the funny thing. Charlotte got more votes in the round that she lost than the round that she won. Just to let you know. That brings us to Saturday's matchup. I'm just not going to fix your video anymore, Ginger, because it keeps Go reverting back. I don't know what it is. Mia Yim took on Kairi Sane.
It's autofocus in the shower curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sal, who you got?
I went with Mia Yim.
All right, you're wrong. Jason, who'd you win?
I went with Mia Yim as well.
You're wrong as well. Jeff.
I'm right, and I went with Kyrie Sane.
There you go. Ginger.
I want to be right this time, so I'm Kairi Sane.
All right, good choice, good choice. I went with Kairi Sane as well, and so does 67% of our viewers and listeners, because with a vote of 206 to 98, Kairi Sane moves on.
Wow.
Didn't you complain that Kyrie Sane was losing at one point during the week?
I do a lot of things just to throw you guys off the scent. She was never losing at all.
Good. So the one with the body of a 13-year-old boy moves on. Sweet.
I was
All
gonna
right,
say,
let's
what does
go.
that say about our listeners and
Right?
She
viewers?
does not have a body of a 13-year-old boy. She has titties,
Yep.
she's got ass.
You're crazy.
So that brought us to our final matchup of the second round, Peyton Royce versus Rhea Ripley. Jason, who'd you got?
Is this really a question?
Yes, it
'Cause
is. Yes, it is.
Did you watch WrestleMania? It's fucking Peyton Royce, dude. Like,
Jeff.
I actually thought it was tough, but I went with Peyton Royce anyway.
Ginger.
Peyton Royce. Just, I hope she doesn't talk like she does in the ring in real life because her voice just.
Sal.
Peyton Royce.
All right, I too went with Peyton Royce. And so did 69% of our audience. With a vote of 258 to 112, Peyton Royce
Man.
moves on. Both iconics continue to dominate.
We
man,
really are a bunch of dirty
What?
douchebag lickers.
poor Rhea. She lost the NXT UK Championship and the vote in the same week. God damn.
It sucks. So that brings us to round 3. And in round 3, the matchups are as follows. This week, and actually right now, if you are watching this on the YouTube or if you're listening in your ear hole, go over to runonwrestling.com and vote for Carmella versus Zelina Vega. And then,
That's it's gonna be tough.
oh man,
Jesus
we're in the
Christ.
third round now, man. We're in the end game. That brings us to Friday, which will see Tony Storm take on Xia Brookside.
Another tough one.
Yeah.
Dude, they're all tough at this point. Except maybe Saturday's matchup as Alexa Bliss takes on Killer Kelly.
Right. I was gonna say except that
Can
one.
we just declare a winner right now?
Sunday is the Battle of the Heavyweights as Becky Lynch takes on Mandy Rose.
Oof.
And then,
I know which way it should go, but I have a feeling it's going to go the other way.
Well, we'll see.
and then next week, Thursday, Taynara Conchi takes on Paige. And then
Ooh.
Liv Morgan takes on Natalia. That should also be a slam dunk.
That should be easy.
Billie Kay takes on Kairi Sane. And and Nikki Cross takes on Peyton Royce. So, with that, we got a shit ton to talk about, and we're going to do it right fucking now. Because, as always, we go from, oh, that's right, no
No, we
perfect
don't
10
have-
this week. Sorry,
No.
Jason. I'm sorry.
One less edit for me to have to do later. So
You don't get a chance to edit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's right, because we have WrestleMania and the week after WrestleMania to talk to. So what we're going to do is we're going to run down the card. And then after we're done talking about the matches, we are going to talk about some of the important things that happened to participants in that matchup afterwards on Raw or SmackDown. So, don't worry, Sal, you look confused. I'll hold your hand through this. We started things off with the kickoff show where Budrick Murphy took on Antoine Nice for his Cruiserweight Championship. And if my fucking screen here will work. All right. In a shock to apparently only me and Jason, Tony Nese is your new Cruiserweight Champion.
in my defense, Ginger picked Tony Nese, so there was no way I could, in good conscience, do that.
That's
And
true.
guess who?
And guess who won?
And guess who finished last in overall picks?
This guy.
We'll get there. We'll get there. So yeah. So Sal, did you get a chance to watch the cruiserweights here?
Oh, we're not going to lead off with the obvious choice in this category.
No, because you saved the best for last.
Exactly.
All right, fine. You can wait for me.
I'm the best, by the way.
I did get to watch this match. I enjoyed this match. I still worry about Tony Nese's in-ring persona in the sense that he doesn't really have one. And I don't know how much this his fighting champion character is going to work, because that's what he said on 205. But no, the match was good. The crowd actually responded really politely, I thought, and I enjoyed it. I was happy they made the change here, because I think Buddy's pretty much done all he can do with 205. So,
Ginger?
It was good. I enjoyed it. I don't like Nice's finishing move. It's just kind of bland. I don't know, but yeah, they put on a good match, and I mean that's what it boils down to. And it was a little slightly underwhelming because you figured there'd be a few more high spots. Obviously, they probably were held down a little bit because it's the first match on the show. But overall, I thought it was pretty good, though.
Jason?
I really love Buddy Murphy as a performer, and I like what Tony Nese does in the ring. My problem is, like, Tony Nese is supposed to be the face in this spot, and he's still walking down doing the counting my abs thing, which is not very face at all. And it's sort of goofy and hokey, and I think, like, I'm not a fan of that. So I would have kept the title on Murphy. That's why I picked him. But Nese is perfectly fine. But I think to Sal's point, Nese doesn't add any extra eyeballs or attention to that title. And I think if you're going to take it off somebody who's got a little buzz like Murphy does, it needs to go on somebody else who's going to bring some more buzz to the product. And I don't think Tony Nese is that guy.
Yeah, it was a bad week for that household. You had Buddy Murphy losing his title, then Alexa Bliss contracted racism. So Jeff, that takes us to you as the resident cruiserweight expert. What did you think of Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese's match?
Please just say it was good, not say anything else.
Well, when I got into the seats, it was about half full. So the crowd wasn't crazy loud for this one, but I mean, I think timing was everything for Tony Nese. He's from New York, and this was, billed as New York, even though it was in New Jersey. So I don't see him holding the belt for that long. Like everybody else, like Sal and Jason said, he doesn't have a great character. I also agree with Ginger. I'm not a huge fan of the running Nese. He's got all this power, he's got all this athleticism, and his finisher is just a knee to the face. It's basically Mojo Rawley's finisher, but a knee. And,
now, see, he did the 450,
right?
But Murphy kicked out, so
he's also got some cool springboard backflip thing he does. He's got tons of things he can use as a finisher. It's just to choose that is a bit silly, but like I said, I think timing is everything. You pick this as his win. It's a good spot to actually take the title off of Buddy Murphy if you're planning on moving him up. Once he won, the crowd actually did pop pretty loud, even though it was half full. It was a good match. It was one of the better matches, I think, on the card.
All right. So that took us to...
Can't wait for Oney Lorcan! My jacket! That's my jacket!
So that took us to a bunch of ladies fighting for the Fallopian Tube Championship. The order of elimination in this one.
Oh, does anyone give a shit?
Nice.
Carmella won. She won fucking nothing. It meant fucking nothing. Let's move on to the men's version that fucking won nothing and meant nothing.
Maria Kanellis, Nikki Cross, Candice LeRae, Naomi, Ember Moon, Lana, Kairi Sane, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan.
I am gonna
Brooke,
undefeated
Brooke,
for the rest of this fucking
Mickie
episode
James,
if you do.
Sonya Deville, Asuka, Sarah Logan. So yeah, any spots in this match that you guys thought were interesting?
Yeah, the end. Let's go.
No, Ember. Zach? Who the fuck knew Ember was cleared? I thought she was hurt.
That was a surprise, I think, to everybody.
Yeah, and she was over as fuck, and they decided not to put her over in the match. The crowd was crazy for her, crazy hot for her. They gave her fucking nothing. That's why this whole thing fucking sucks. Let's move on.
Because Carmella's from New York. Yeah, 2 matches in a row.
Oh, she's not. She's a fucking lister.
Yeah, Ember Moon returns, gets taken out in number 5.
Everybody, I let me just say, she's a face, right? And everybody was actually really pumped that Sarah Logan was. Everybody thought she won that match, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, that's fucking awesome." And then Carmella came in, and the fucking air just came out, and we were like, okay, I guess." It was fucking not worth it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. They played like that on TV. You could like hear the crowd be like they just
Everybody's
stopped.
just like,
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that this win will probably do as much for her as it did for Naomi last year. Did you remember Naomi won last year?
yeah, the same way, right?
Pretty much. Yep. The same way. Everyone
that
thought she was
fucking-
done.
That fucking spot in a battle royal is so overdone at this point.
It's
You
awful.
Fucking stop it.
You do.
And then they fucking did the same
They
thing
did
in
it
the
again.
men's one.
They did it twice. Yeah, because over on the men's side of things, Curtis Axel, Lindsay
Nobody
Dorada,
cares.
Tyler
Nope,
Breeze,
nope,
EC3,
nobody cares.
Shelton Benjamin,
On
Ellis, Heath Slater, Tyson,
the
Joey, Jose Carl, and
feet.
Anderson, Rhino
Ten.
Bobby, Grand Montelique, Kalisto, Chad Gable, Connor, Victor, Luke Gallows, Otis, Tucker, Jinder Mahal, Luke Harper, Ali, Apollo Crews, Andrade, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Michael Shade, Colin Jost. So yeah, so Braun Strowman won.
Gave a shit about this.
Luke Harper looked good. Looked like he was in good shape.
You know who gave a shit?
Almost killed
Ali's
Ali.
face. Yeah,
Luke Harper
Ali's
didn't
face
almost
gave a
kill-
shit.
Luke
No,
Harper
that
didn't
wasn't
almost
Luke
kill-
Harper's fault.
No. Was who
Whose
dropped
fault
him?
was it?
Well, and I love
Ali, who's made of fucking rubber, apparently.
Who's the person
Yeah.
responsible for holding the guy up in the air? It's his fault when that shit goes bad.
Ali won.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, too, though, that they went for that spot like the first time. Harper held him there for like I think it was like 15 seconds, waiting for Braun to come along, and then they had to start the whole spot over again.
Yep.
So that was a little rough. So I think they were ready, and then it just like was like, oh shit, I'm fucking tired now because I just held a fucking 200-pound guy for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So that made it a little tough too. So,
Right.
but you can't blame that on anybody. It was just an over rotation. Shit happens. It's a sport. Get over it.
But also, Ali has a tendency to kind of like do his back bumps on the outside and kind of like roll through it. Like every lands back first on that, he rolls through and like he sells really well. So like his instinct was to hit back first and roll through, but he just rolled through face first into the corner of the table.
To the fucking corner.
Ouch.
Ugh.
We talked about it
That guy
yesterday.
can't catch a break. He gets healthy from getting his face stomped by Orton, and then he gets hurt again. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we talked about it on NXT yesterday. It was a bad weekend for table spots because those tables did.
Oh my
120.
god. You're fucking telling me, man. That shit was horrible.
Oh, we'll get to some of that later on. There was some really, really awful looking ones.
Right, because the next match was full on fuck the Revival. Because the fucking Major Brothers are the Raw Tag Team Champions.
New York, yay!
Yeah, so the Revival, their run with the Tag Team Championships resulted in 1 victory.
It was a fucking joke.
Yep. And then they lost. And then they lost again the next night. Yeah. This was, if you believe Tuna Meltzer, this was WWE trying to show them, give us a couple months and we'll show you that we're going to treat the tag teams differently. We're going to have you lose to Zack fucking Ryder and a guy who lost fucking almost 300 matches in a row. Go enjoy yourself at Double or Nothing.
I don't have a problem that they fucking lost. My problem is that the match was shit. I mean,
It wasn't a good match. It wasn't a good match at all.
like if they went out there and lost to a team that could, like if they went out there and lost the titles back to Gable and Roode, who they have phenomenal chemistry with, who they put a great match on with all the time, 20 hot minutes, fucking just move after move, counter for counter, great stuff. I'd have no fucking problem. it was like 20 minutes of fucking arm bars because
Yeah.
fucking Hawkins and Ryder they can't, those styles don't work together. They're what they do, which made the match and even the rematch exceedingly boring and not interesting to me.
What the fuck is wrong with Kurt Hawkins' face? Why does it look like he stuck his head in a deep fat fryer? It's like red and splotchy, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. Also, he couldn't seem to remember what fucking gear to wear. Because everyone in this match at WrestleMania was wearing white and gold, and he had fucking neon green. And then
Well, he typically wears the blue and orange for the Mets, and in this case, he wore it for the Jets colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
guess.
the Jets
but
had just released their new uniforms.
But like,
Which-
why wouldn't you just keep your Mets outfit?
Right. That is a good point. I mean, you've been wearing it the whole time. You're going to change it now.
Because the Mets don't play in that stadium.
Right. Even
Yeah,
though
but
it is.
I don't think a lot of people picked up on it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people did not pick up on it.
I didn't
That it
know.
was Jets
Anybody who listened to the commentary did because they pointed it
Oh, yeah.
out.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't. I didn't listen to the commentary, so
I don't blame you.
well, I couldn't.
Well, could you have, though? Could you have, like, thrown the network on and put, like, your headphones in?
There's a
Or would it have been, like, wicked delayed?
How much of an asshole do I have to be to fucking throw the network on while I'm watching it live?
There are people that listen to the fucking radio broadcast at the football game. I mean,
Yeah.
really not
Once
that much
again,
different.
is that something you would do?
Well, sometimes it helps to like get insight that you can't necessarily see from where you're sitting. Or if you happen to be sitting in a section that was blinded by a giant light in the middle of the show.
Well, then, yes, if that's the case, sure. Yeah, I probably might have done that.
Yeah, we didn't
Except
actually
my-
point out that Jeff was on site for WrestleMania in NXT TakeOver this weekend.
Yeah, I was throwing in little. I just assumed that everybody knew, because I'm that popular.
So, how was it, man?
I think we're getting bits and pieces of how it was, buddy.
No,
Yeah.
but, while we talk about this dog shit tag match, how was the weekend? Was it fucking amazing, or
Oh, of course, it was absolutely amazing.
or did you just get no sleep in 96 hours?
His
No, I
enthusiasm
got-
doesn't fucking tip you off, dude.
I got about 14 hours in about 4 days, so 14 hours of sleep. I'm saying. So I didn't get any sleep, but I still had a fucking blast. I will say though, I got like 2 hours of sleep before I went to NXT, and going there, I had to piss so bad. I was stuck in traffic. I left the car in the middle of traffic, in the middle of the street, to go piss in some shop, and I pissed, and I got out, and I figured I had to like go run up to the car, and I got out and I was running, and go around the corner, and the car was right there. So I was like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. And I just kind of hopped back in the car. And then I fucking, what?
Did you have a piss boner?
Well, I always have a boner.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, so I actually slept through the women's match
Oh.
on NXT to get like a breather for the main event.
That's all right.
Yeah, and then Mania was great. We went early, we tailgated. I saw those fucking assholes who were doing the hardcore shit in the parking lot. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you see that?
I saw that Intercontinental table spot online, and that was about it.
Yeah, that was going on right by where I was, and saw that shit. And
Wait, so people were like backyard wrestling in the fucking parking lot?
some fucking
Yeah.
asshole jumped off the back of a fucking pickup truck and leg dropped some guy through a fucking plastic table.
And almost killed him.
And then
CZW?
afterward, what they didn't show is he fucking did a stunner and fucked his asshole up on the
Good.
fucking pavement.
Good, he deserves it.
Yeah.
The rats must have been all over those two.
Yeah.
And I mean, the
There's-
sewer rats, not.
He meant the ones from New
Well,
York City.
he died, actually. They both died from fucking doing stupid shit. So, yeah, you're right.
Good.
Continue.
So I don't know where else to put this. So on Raw, we got a video where we saw a box sitting in the middle of the room with some smoke coming out of it.
That was Paige. Let's refer to her by her name.
And then the box opened up. And,
Jesus Christ, we all saw the video, Troy. All right, let it go.
and then Suddenly pancakes fell out of it. Oh, you guys didn't see that. That's the new one. So one of the hand puppets from a Troma film popped out, which was a buzzard. And we had heard rumors that Mr. Bray Wyatt was going to have a lot of changes to his character when he returned. And apparently now he is a puppeteer. I'm assuming for children.
Listen.
Listen.
We
Listen.
we know because we're in the know that they were going to start running vignettes for Bray. Now I don't know what exactly he is going to come out like because WWE he might come out in clown makeup when he finally does appear. But this was a little bit weird. But hey, that's Bray. Bray's always going to be weird, right? Let's see where it goes first.
He's gonna start a new stable with Pat McAfee.
Making me spit everywhere. What the fuck are you doing? You're making me spit everywhere.
Nice. Smathers, who has tuned in on YouTube, you too can tune in on YouTube, said that this is actually Gobbledygooker, son of the Gobbledygooker. So,
He also thinks Jeff is 12 years old. So
Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Okay. Was he want to fuck me?
He was hoping.
Jesus Christ.
Oh boy. There we go. All right.
Hold on.
So then we kicked off the main show, and before we get into the first match, this is something that I felt was kind of a wasted opportunity. So Alexa Bliss comes out, sadly wearing clothes, and proceeds to give a little bit of a promo to welcome everyone there, and says that the show is in the palm of her hands, and she can make a WrestleMania moment with the snap of her fingers. She snaps her fingers, and Hulk Hogan comes out. So before we get into Hogan's thing, I wanted to say, why didn't they run with that? We had a couple of other opportunities for Alexa Bliss to come out and snap her fingers and have something crazy happen. It felt like that was going to be a running thread throughout the show, like, here comes Alexa, she's going to snap her fingers, and what the fuck's going to happen now? And they did it once, and then nothing was going on. So,
You know what? In that thought,
Yeah.
think about how awesome that would have been if Alexa came out during Elias's performance and was like, I like rap music.
Yeah.
yeah. There's different things that you... Anyways.
That's a good point.
So Hulk Hogan came out, made a joke about mispronouncing the Pontiac Silverdome, then proceeded to mispronounce the name of MetLife Center.
Fucking God.
It's MetLife Stadium, and he called
how
it
did that
MetLife
joke? How did that go over in front of the live crowd, Jeff?
Nobody picked up on it. I picked up on it, and so did my friends, and we're just like, are you fucking kidding me?
By the way, that was not at all intentional.
No.
Like, he just fucked up again.
He fucked up again.
Yeah, because we literally went to her, so we go, was that on purpose? I don't think so.
Yeah, I
then
completely
we were
thought it was on purpose,
This guy's
too.
a fucking moron.
Yeah.
He just doesn't care.
Yeah, that's true. But, so then, apparently nobody told Alexa and Hogan what was going to happen next. Because all of a sudden, Paul Heyman comes waddling past them, and he looked ultra fucking confused. And the reports are that, yeah, nobody told him that he was going to come out and start the show. So he comes out and says that if we're not going to go on last, let's get this shit over with. And let's do this now. And instantly, everyone rock hard boners. Like,
Yeah.
I got one.
we're going to start the show with Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Like, fuck yes, man. Count me in.
Also, side
Honestly,
note,
I had zero fucking anticipation for this match at this point, so it really didn't impact me at all.
See, but that's why they put it on.
wow, look
first,
at Ginger's
because-
face.
Yeah.
Okay. So they could have gone two different paths with this match. They could have gone what they did, or they could have had Seth Rollins get the bag beat out of him like Reigns did. I think it was at 30. Was it 30? No.
Yeah, no, 31, the original time.
Oh, 31, yes. They could have. They chose the easier route because they probably didn't want Rollins to fucking die, which it looked like he fucked his arm up pretty bad in the mean.
He
He went into this with a bad back too.
And then they fucked his back up.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, good for him, pushing through it. I mean, I don't know what the hell his problem is in WrestleMania season and being injured, but he pulled through it and did it, and I thought it was exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah,
But-
so, before the match even started, Brock Lesnar tore Seth limb from limb, proceeded to take the little top hood off of the announce table and throw him through that. That part is not breakable. Like, it clearly is breakable. That's that part.
I was gonna say it broke.
It's not gimmicked to break. Like, the way that it broke when he went through it, it was like, oh, that's real. That, like, splintered off, cut his back, and shit like
There's
that.
all over the
Yeah.
fucking place.
Like, that is not how a gimmicked piece of material breaks. So, yeah, he proceeded to spend the rest of the match bleeding from his back and with a giant fucking welt on it because he couldn't go through it. And it's like, this is the guy who already has back problems. You're going to then throw him through something like that. But yeah, so eventually, as everyone knows by now, Brock Lesnar has a fetish with getting hit in the balls. Causes him to come instantaneously. And when that happens, it takes him a long time to recover. So, of course, Seth hit him in the balls. And it's a tragedy at this point that his pants are black, because though if you didn't notice, when he first came out, nothing on his pants, just black pants. Those little like skull things that show up, that's just how he comes. He just comes with those out. So then the match itself kind of went very quickly. Seth hit a couple of curb stomps and won, and he's the new Universal Champion. Jason, what were your thoughts on the match?
Like I said, I had no real anticipation for this match, so I guess it didn't fail to meet my expectations. It was fucking fine. I mean, I don't know. What are you fucking telling us? I mean, you look at what Brock Lesnar did to Daniel Bryan, to Roman Reigns, to AJ Styles, and then Seth Rollins pretty much goes out and, for all intents and purposes, squashes them. I guess we're pushing Seth, and I get that, but I sort of feel like the way you did this made a lot of people look like shit.
They didn't get a low blow on him. That's the problem.
Finn
Daniel Bryan might have.
Finn slammed him into a table.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, but he did not punch him in the dick.
No, the corner of the table did. And Daniel Bryan did hit him in the nuts because it was right after he did it to AJ, so everybody was like, oh shit, he's doing that again.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple things on this match. First of all, I now have the experience of having Paul Heyman march down the aisle at WrestleMania to the tune of Real American, which I found fucking hilarious. This is what Brock matches have been. And you go back to when they did it with Goldberg. It's just Brock matches are one of two things. They're what they are with Daniel Bryan and Finn Balor, or they're 3-second squashes. And look, at least Seth won. I'm happy Seth won. It didn't really serve any purpose other than to get that belt off of Brock.
Yeah. The best part of this match to me was, of course, Paul Heyman. When they were doing the 3 counts, you just see his face, and when it goes to the 3 count, his eyes go huge, and it was perfectly timed. So afterwards on Raw, Seth Rollins was talking about how he's a fighting champion, blah blah blah, typical bullshit. Kofi Kingston comes out and challenges him to a winner-take-all match because it works.
How do they gonna want to take all match? Kofi doesn't have a belt yet.
Yeah, why don't we talk about that after that match? It just doesn't fit right here. I'm just saying.
I think I broke Troy.
And Ginger, apparently.
AJ Styles took on Randy Orton. Apparently, AJ Styles was injured in this match on the phenomenal forearm that finished the match. Apparently, hurt his hip. We don't know. We do not know how
I'm still
long.
here.
Hi. How's it going?
Hi.
What's going on?
How's it going?
Did you have something?
That
to say
match
about-
was.
Did you have something to say about Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar?
I mean, everybody was
Kung Fu fighting?
excited. Yes.
So what was the
Yeah, that's-
what was the reaction when Seth won?
Well, it wasn't as electric as when Paul Heyman came out, because when Paul Heyman came out, everybody kind of was like, "Who the fuck is that?" Well, out by me, because I was fucking far away. But
Who's that
there was
penguin
"Who's
looking
that?"
guy?
Yeah, and then we're like, "Oh fuck, that's Paul Heyman," and then he came out and cut the promo, and yeah, it was fucking. We all took bets on this match of how long it would go, and I guess 12 minutes. Unfortunately for me,
Should have bet the under.
when the bell rang, it lasted 2 minutes and 50 seconds. If it counted when Brock Lesnar kind of just attacked him outside the ring, it would have been 12 minutes and 36 seconds. So hey, but anyway, yeah, no, the crowd was excited that Brock Lesnar lost, and it was what it was. I don't know what you're gonna. I mean, it's better to have Seth Rollins as a champ, and we'll just move on to the Randy Orton match because I have more to say about that.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this match, I watched about. So you know those guys who had the lights stuck on them for most of the time that Randy Orton was nice enough to point out on Instagram.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
Yes, Randy Orton talked about it afterwards on Instagram, but during the match, those people made it pretty vocal that there was something wrong with the lights.
Okay, so yeah, the whole stadium was probably looking at that section because they were chanting so loudly.
You could see everybody looking over on the hard cam, looking over like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. So I maybe watched about. I saw the phenomenal forearm. I saw he did the old backbreaker thing he did. You know, that old like kind of bend him over the back.
Oh, Randy Orton's, yes.
Randy Orton did the whole bend him over the back kind of neck breaker thing, which I always enjoyed that move. So I was excited to see that. But yeah, I didn't see a whole lot of this one. But the match, from what I saw, the match was good. And that's why I'm going to throw it to you guys to tell me how the rest of the match was, because I didn't see a whole lot of it.
So, can I ask you, Jeff, real quick, what was the problem? It was just a certain section that had a light left over from, like, one of the entrances or something?
Okay, so the above the ring, there was the whole, typical light setup that they have. It was kind of like... it was like a big above the ring where they usually put the spotlights, right?
Right.
And there was red and yellow spotlights that were shining all through the stadium, and they turned all of them off except for one that was shining on an entire section that was like on the first tier up. Like, my tickets weren't cheap, so I can only imagine going lower. Those tickets were probably 4 times as expensive as mine. And I get why these guys were pissed that this light was not shining on them. And if they just spent the whole match chanting that fucking shit off. And the same thing fucking happened at NXT too.
Really?
The same exact thing, the same exact spot. I don't know why, but it was just... and it seems like it's been happening at a couple WWE events now. And I don't know what the issue is.
4 straight, by the way. It happened at 4 straight events. It happened at.
Well, there you go.
The lighting guys didn't say Vince McMahon's name, so they all got to keep their jobs.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but they need to fix that shit because they're not cheap fucking seats, and they need to work on that. I mean, granted, you missed a non-title match, but it was still from what I hear, it was one of the better matches on the fucking card.
It was good. Orton and Styles have good chemistry. Kudos to Orton for not only calling out that, but then also on SmackDown when he hit his
Blocking it.
when his hit his RKO out of nowhere, walked up the ramp going, "I can't see.
I can't see.
It was fucking fantastic. And
Yeah, I saw that.
if you don't know, you're like, the fuck is he doing? But if you do know what he's referring to, you're like, oh, that's fucking awesome, dude. Because they did it again on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
They had this same exact fucking problem, and like
They did it at Takeover, and I know the crowd chanted during it was the second match. The crowd was chanting, and I was like, "What the fuck is the crowd reacting to?" And
Yeah.
like, no, they
Yeah,
just can't
so-
fucking see.
Yeah.
And then,
What
like
the
I said,
fuck?
it happened again on Monday and Tuesday, and it's like, how do you not fucking learn? Like, I'm pretty sure you're using the same guys, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yep.
So on SmackDown, there was a match where it was Shinsuke, Rusev, somebody else, against against Ricochet, Black, and Ali. Oh, Andrade was the other guy.
Andrade, yes, it was Andrade.
After the match,
Alistair and Black.
Alistair and Black, yep. After the match, Orton proceeds to hit an RKO on Ali, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, which was good. And then all of a sudden, Kevin Owens hits a stunner, kind of, on Rusev, who forgets how to sell a stunner.
I was gonna say he hit the stunner. It wasn't.
So just kind of, it was another prime example of how SmackDown is able to utilize guys when they don't have as much time. Where it's like you got Orton and Owens, you're like, oh yeah, they exist. They come out there, they fucking hit finishers and just walk away, and it was a good character moment for both of them. So moving right along, unless anyone else has anything to say about Styles and Orton.
I thought it was a great match. I really enjoyed the two of them working together. I was anticipating it coming into it, and I thought they delivered for what it was.
Ginger.
Orton's act is starting to get old for me. It's the same slow spot finish.
Slow stomping. Slow.
But see, I love that because it's such a contrast to what we see from most other people, and it creates that conflict of styles between like him and AJ, for example. I thought that was a great conflict of styles, and I thought that's part of what made me look forward to that match.
But how many times can you do it before it's like, okay, this is exactly how this match is going to go? That's how every single one of Orton's matches are.
I tell you right now, I'd be there for Randy versus Ricochet. I'd be there for Randy versus Black. I'd be there for a Randy and Ali feud. I think there's plenty of these young guys where that style plays well.
But change it up at least once, for the love of God.
Also, Orton, I'll give him credit on this. You get in the ring with a guy like him, and it makes you. Whether it's Ali or Ricochet or whoever's next. There's something to being in a real feud with Randy Orton. Fuck, Styles kicked out of the RKO. I think a lot of people were surprised by that. Because usually that move's well protected.
Back to that point, your previous point, I think that's why they're putting him with Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they want Ali to be another big guy for SmackDown. So give him Orton.
So the other thing, obviously, we get the continuation of Randy Orton trying to RKO Styles when he's going for the Phenomenal Forearm. They continued that little feud that they have between them, which was great callbacks. Yes, Ginger.
Sorry, I really enjoyed that spot where he fucking went for the forearm, stopped, Orton jumped to give him the RKO, and then he took the back bump, and Styles just fell back. I really enjoyed that spot.
That was a really good spot.
All right.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, that's fine. So moving right along, we had the SmackDown Tag Team titles on the line as the Usos took on the Bar, Black O'Shea, and Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. And this one wound up being one of only 2 title retentions on the night. Because the Usos, sporting some really fucking awesome looking white outfits, wound up kind of stealing the win a little bit, but still getting decisive win as it was. The match, I mean, you've got Black O'Shea in there. They're obviously going to continue to put on a great show. Everyone in this match did a really good job on what they're supposed to do. Not to me, this was Not a show stealer like I thought it was going to be, but definitely still a good match in my opinion. Sal, what did you think of this one?
This match, there's a lot of talent in this match, and I think for me to see Ricochet and Black, who I'm big fans of, lose 3 straight title matches in 1 week on 3 different brands was kind of, And from what I heard, they're keeping them as a tag team. As much as we may not like it, that's where Vince wants them right now, so that's what they're gonna do going forward. But
It'll lead somewhere.
yeah, I look. I'm a big fan of the Usos. I think those guys are great. It's a shame they didn't get a real program into WrestleMania, but the match was fine. The bar's always going to be hard hitting, and Nakamura and Rusev were there too.
Which one's going to be the Bart Gunn in the group?
Of Ricochet and Black, it's hard to tell because Black's got a pretty decent character. I mean, I would like to think that neither of them, but I don't know.
Jason?
Why the fuck did we not just do the Hardys program here?
Yeah, that.
I mean,
that's
you're gonna switch
absolutely
the belts
true.
on them on the next show. Why the fuck? That's a much more WrestleMania worthy program than a fucking look. I love Ricochet and Black. There was really no reason for them to be on WrestleMania at this point. Rusev and Shinsuke have done nothing to deserve a title shot at this point. And the Bar, I like the Bar, but they're sort of played out as far as tag team titles go. They need to sort of take a break for a little while. And they were about to be involved in a heavyweight championship thing. So why the fuck did we not just tell the Hardys, go out there with the Usos? Because the match on fucking SmackDown was fantastic. If you gave them 3-4 more minutes at WrestleMania, I think that you're sitting there talking about what a great fucking match that is. And I think this is just another example of them putting together a less than match to get more people on the show, and I didn't like it.
Ginger, you had something to say?
How dare you speak of the Bar like that? That tag team fucking is amazing.
Oh, you evil fucking gingers sticking together. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, all we have to do is switch the G in the end, and those are our allies. But anyways, you...
Oh no, continue at this point.
Okay, so that's a joke, by the way. Don't take it to heart. The Bar that was the most unexpected tag team, and they have blown it out of the fucking water. Like, what other team have you seen do that? Where they just went, let's mash them together and get a product. You haven't seen that ever. But as for the match,
Bar have been, in my opinion, the Bar have been great. They've been fine, but I get Jason's point. There was a lot of nonsensicalness around this entire match. You know,
oh yeah, the entire match, yeah, it was a fucking, here you go, let's get people on the card. I agree 100% with that. But
and then every single reason I came up with of why they didn't do the Hardy program going into Mania was thrown the fuck out the window on Tuesday night. I was like, well, I've heard one of them might be kind of dealing with an injury, or maybe they're just going to be putting guys over at their age at this point, and instead, we get new tag team champions 48 hours later. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the Hardy match should have been on the card. I think the entire crowd thought that this match was actually very good, but it was a very good TV match. It easily could have been on SmackDown. Jason said it perfectly. You gave him 3 or 4 minutes more, the Hardys and the Usos would have tore it up, and the crowd would have went nuts for the Hardys being in this match and in this position and winning the tag belts. Forget it. I mean, it would have been absolutely crazy there. But I mean, it is what it is. You're gonna have this match. It was a lukewarm reception for everybody involved. The Usos winning, same thing, lukewarm reception. I don't know. It's silly booking. It's silly booking in general. Just have the Hardys on there and make it smart.
Speaking of the Hardys, can anybody explain to me why we had what happened after the match on SmackDown to the brand new SmackDown Tag Team Champions?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Tag teams don't matter.
Tag teams don't matter.
That's it.
These guys can take a beating, and it doesn't hurt their credibility. It doesn't hurt them at all. So, it's the same reason why it was Kurt Angle who got the shit beat out of him too. It's because of the fact that certain guys, with the longevity that they have, it doesn't matter if they get the shit kicked out of them by some big fucking ugly dude, because it's not going to hurt their push. It's not going to hurt their momentum at all. They're Teflon in that case. So, all right. Unless someone else has anything to say about the Usos or the Hardys winning the SmackDown Tag Team titles 2 nights later.
One last thing is, I think the Usos could really benefit from a move to Raw.
Maybe.
I think Raw could benefit from getting some actual fucking tag teams.
Yeah,
True.
because they have one and they don't use them. So fuck the Revival. So
The Revival and the Usos would fucking set tag team wrestling on fire on Raw.
Yeah,
Truthfully.
I agree.
And you know
Yeah.
what would happen if they moved the Usos over to the same show that the Revival is on? The fucking tag titles would go to Apollo Crews and Shelton Benjamin. Okay, like this still wouldn't
Shelton
fucking-
Benjamin's on SmackDown.
It's after the Superstar Shakeup.
First of all, Shelton Benjamin only tags with white people.
Second, Shelton Benjamin is on. Shelton Benjamin is on Raw. Dumb shit. He showed
Didn't he
up in-
team with MVP at one point?
Yes, he did.
Oh, all right. Well,
a false
I stand corrected.
count anywhere match.
Troy hates when we have a lot of people on the show at once.
I do. I can mute you though. So there's that.
Like a free for all, it's fun.
That's fine. I don't give a fuck. I'm not the one editing it. Suck a dick. So the Miz took on Shane McMahon in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And oh boy, this was an event, to say the least. Jason, the only one who correctly predicted that Shane was actually going to win this one.
I think that default makes me the winner. Just-
Probably. Maybe. Maybe. So yeah. This one came about at the end in a very odd way for who won it. But let's talk about some of the bigger spots, because this was a spot fest. Let's be honest here. We knew it was going to be though, because it's Shane. So Ginger, your I hesitate to say favorite spot, but your most like the spot you want to most talk about in this match.
Why, oh why, did they have to get Dogbert involved in there? Honest to God, like, I understand, but just have Shane, like, punch him in the face in the crowd or something. Don't have him get into the ring and just... It was dumb to the fullest. And then having Shane actually, like, do stuff to him, it was just bad. That was just a bad spot. I understand they want to give Miz a little powder, but that was just a very, very, very bad spot of that match. But besides that, it was, like you just said, it was a spot fest, but I think they needed it to be that. But that's my opinion on it.
Smathers has requested that we kick Taz off the show.
The fuck?
I'm just reading what it says, man. Take it up with Mr. Smathers. Okay, so
So,
Jeff,
as much of a spot fest as this was,
Actually, Jeff, before you go, can I just
Yeah.
ask you a quick question? When
Sure.
this match starts and you're in attendance, do you immediately start looking around for what high shit Shane can jump off of?
oh, we called it. We called it at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
We said it was the scaffolding right at the fucking headquarters. That was right. Like we called it. Yeah.
You
We
like
saw
see
the
that?
crash
James
pad.
jumping off of that.
Yeah, we saw the crash pad and we were like, oh, well, there you go. But yeah, for as spot fest as this was, the I don't. The crowd wasn't that hot for it, honestly. I mean, at live for all these other matches there were. I mean, they weren't that into it. I think the biggest pop was fucking Dogbert getting in the ring and squaring up as like an old man can.
I was just gonna say, how was the reaction when he got in the ring?
Oh yeah, everybody went nuts. And then when he squared up, I was like, yeah, he's gonna die.
Given the way he squared up, I feel like him and Jeff share sayings.
Put him up!
For those of you at home who don't understand the joke we're making, we're saying that Mr. Miz, Miz's dad, looks like Dogbert from the Dilbert comics.
Yes.
Google it.
And that Jeff talks like an old man.
Yes.
Well, Jeff has old man sayings.
We would really, we would have some great conversations. Let's just say that. But the suplex over the top with Miz at the end and the pin was, I think everybody thought the Miz won. And then when Shane McMahon's music hit, everybody was very confused. I don't know how it translated on the actual, broadcast, but everybody seemed very confused because it didn't look like there was any pinning going on. Was it like that on the broadcast?
No, the broadcast it clearly showed once the ref started counting, they showed him that Shane was on top of Miz, and they showed the ref counting, and you knew it was done.
And if I recall, Tom and Corey did a good job of pointing that out. Like, wait a minute, Shane's shoulder's on top of him or something like that as the ref was counting. So you kind of got it by hearing it. But yeah, I can imagine the crowd being completely fucking confused.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If only they had popped on the WWE Network on their phone so they could have listened to the commentary.
That's true. That's very true. Maybe I should have done that.
So, from there, if no one else has anything else to say about the WrestleMania match,
wait, Troy, your thoughts on the match?
I always like it when we go to places we don't see.
Mm.
I always far more enjoy it. And Falls Count Anywhere match, I'm like, back in the day, Falls Count Anywhere meant that these guys were going to go walking around the fucking arena, and they would find a conference room and get fucking thrown through a window in the conference room or something like that.
Oh.
So at this point, it's like, well, we know we're not getting that very much anymore. So instead, it was kind of nice to see them go through. And the fact that they actually went up to the foreign commentators arena there too, I thought was a nice touch because we never see them go anywhere near those guys, and they show them every match, and I couldn't tell you where in the arena they're actually located whenever they show them every event. But this time it was they took them there, wound up taking up I think the Mandarin table, which sucks for them. And then I think it was the Russian guy got fucking knocked over too during this.
Yeah, he did.
Thing. So I felt for him because, not a position I'm sure he thought he was going to be in. So I really enjoyed them going to different places. As soon as they started their final descent, and I saw it, I looked at my buddy and I'm like, oh god, this is not going to be pretty. Thankfully, it was a very safe spot. As safe as it can be, jumping off a fucking 20-foot tall thing into a match sort of like that, when you have another guy on top of you. And Shane winning, I think, is fine because it continues him being a prick. Sadly, he proceeded to waste everyone's fucking time on SmackDown. Which that whole thing was annoying because I'm not a big fan of Greg Hamilton to begin with. So the fact that we had a segment essentially devoted to him announcing was I don't need this, man. So, Ginger, did you have something else that you wanted to say?
Yeah, back to your safe spot thing. Man, I'll tell you what wasn't safe. Shane falling backwards off the golf cart.
And when they showed it again, when the first time it happened, I was like, I don't think he was supposed to fall off of that. And they showed it again, I was like, oh no, he's clearly not supposed to fall off of it. He was clearly supposed to be falling on top of it.
Gross.
Yeah. Jason, you had something to say?
No, I was going to point out that same spot.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. There was a couple. Shane also. Another issue with them going to these different places is even doing normal moves, you can't. You don't know what's behind you, and we saw it with Shane. He fell backwards and clonked his fucking head against the guardrail, and you're like, yeah, he doesn't know what's back there. Like, in the ring, you generally know how far away from the ropes you are. You generally know I've got this big wide open space that, if I'm going to take a move, I'm going to be able to land and be fine. But out in the ring area there, you don't know how close you are to things. And when they went to that, like, gigantic, I couldn't tell if it was a giant crucifix or if it was a swastika, but it had some kind of crossbars to it and then the big pillar in the middle of it. And they were like walking on that. You look confused. This is the spot where they had like the railing on the side, and Miz grabbed it, jumped up, and drop kicked Shane. No, Ginger's the only one who doesn't know what spot I'm talking about.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That whole time, I was holding my breath because I was like, that's too fucking thin of a walkway. One of them is gonna walk right off of that. And surprisingly, they didn't. So I was impressed by that. So anything really to say about the match or Shane on SmackDown wasting everyone's time?
I actually like Greg Hamilton, so that spot didn't bother me. But
Yeah, I do too. Greg Hamilton can hold a note, apparently. Fucking carried that for a long time. I mean, Shane's going to be a dick, and that's what he should be. I still think there's a good chance we're going to get father and son versus father and son at some point, which would be fucking awful and hilarious all at the same time.
I hope not.
I'm just gonna go ahead and remove you from this call.
Hey.
All right.
Oh, real quick, do you think it's working for Miz? This babyface badass Stone Cold Miz type of guy.
He wasn't there on SmackDown, so I don't know. Like, he didn't show up, so I'm not 100% sure. I mean, in terms of what he did during the match, his character work was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
But
He had fire, like a babyface should have, so.
yeah. But again, we've been kind of expecting, like, well, him and Shane will do well together, but what happens after he's done with Shane? And he has to face, like, Baron Corbin after the Superstar Shakeup or something like that. Like, then when he has to do the heavy lifting in terms of face work, I don't know how that goes.
Yeah.
All right, so then we had the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Boss and Hugs versus the Divas of Snooze versus the Iconics versus the Samoan Twat team. So the match wound up being okay. That's probably the best way I can put this. The finish of it took me to the second playing to actually realize what happened, because right at the end of it, I am completely blanking on who it was that was in the ring at the time.
It was Beth and Bailey.
Okay, Beth and Bailey, yeah. So they go up for a superplex, right? That's what it was.
They went up.
The Glam Slam.
The Glam
Well,
Slam,
she
yeah.
first. I think that's what they were. I think that's what Bailey was going
Yeah.
for, and then Beth kind of turned it around on her,
So it was
locked
gonna-
her in the Grand Slam position.
And all you see is Billie Kay like jump up in the air and then dive back and like fall back down, and I was like, "The fuck just happened there?"
I thought she fell, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, that's not good."
Yeah, I'm like, was she supposed to knock her off of it? But then, so then they land, and all of a sudden Billy sneaks in and winds up pinning, and they win the championships. And I was like, wait, were they even legal? Once they reshowed it, I was like, oh, she jumped up and tagged, which not a legal tag, by the way. We're supposed to be putting further emphasis on tags. You have to tag with both feet on the fucking apron, holding onto the string. She leaped into the air and tagged someone's ass. Not a legal tag.
no, we still live in an era where people tag on other people's backs and shit. So it was,
Oh, it doesn't matter where she tagged. I'm saying she wasn't holding the rope and she didn't have her feet on the floor.
they don't have a rope on all four corners, even 4-corner tag match.
Yeah, they're supposed to.
No, they never did.
That was the whole point of this whole, like, we're going to start focusing more on the tag team rules, where you can only interfere.
Who said that?
The Revival did, and WWE was like, that was
The Revival weren't in this match.
Yeah, but that was part of their whole thing, was like, oh, we're going to, when they said they were.
The Revival also said they were going to bring tag team wrestling back. They were going to bring back the old tag team titles, and that Vince had finally put them over. They're clearly very delusional as to what's actually going on in the wrestling industry.
Oh my god.
Jeff, what did you think of this?
I didn't. I was pissing during this match.
Jeff,
I
you took a piss during a women's match. How typical are you?
Well, you know, I just saw who was in it, and I was like, well, you know, gotta piss.
He took a Drake Maverick.
Yes, I took a. No, I mean, I caught the end of the match, and at least the last half of the match, I would say. And I think, I mean, at least where I was, I didn't see the tag either. And the Iconics winning got a huge pop. I was excited. That they won. I know you guys have been talking about how their in-ring work has been shit, and I couldn't agree with you more. But, you know, hey, it's an actual tag team. You know, another actual tag team getting the belts. It's not the Samoan Twat team or the, you know, the fucking two old ladies, fucking two old hens.
Two old ladies.
Getting the belt. So
You know, Beth Phoenix is younger than half the fucking people in this show, right?
Did you know that Beth Phoenix is the youngest ever Hall of Famer?
Yes.
How old is
sure
she?
to tell you that.
How old is she?
I
25.
don't know, like 40.
32, I think? 34.
32. No, I don't
like
think it's 32.
You guys are getting defensive.
Let's go ahead and find out how wrong Sal is.
I said she was 40. Jason said 32.
Okay.
Hey, I'm 28. They're a couple of old hens to me. You know what I mean? I can't. What do you want to?
38.
I was closer.
No, you went over. You lose, motherfucker. You ever watch Price is Right? No, I think she was 30. How old was? Yeah, so she was 37 when she went in the Hall of Fame because it was last year, right?
Who is she younger than on this show?
On this show?
Yeah.
Triple H, Batista.
She meant our show.
No.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because you're like she's younger than most of the people on this show, and I'm like, we're in like our mid 30s. I don't know what you're talking
She's younger than me, so.
Yeah. Okay.
I took it that way too, Troy. Don't worry.
Okay. See, I wasn't. See.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Smathers
did.
calling out that I get confused, but yeah. And Smathers also says that Conor the Crusher was the youngest Hall of Fame inductee. So.
Fair point by him.
I honestly thought the Glam Slam off the top was a really cool spot, especially for an old biddy like that to pull off. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I surprisingly really enjoyed the match. I thought there was a lot of cool things. I thought the false finish on the elbow drop into the frog splash was tremendous. When they had when Beth had Bailey up there for the Glam Slam, I'm like, oh fuck, they're actually going to put the titles on Natalya and Beth. And then I saw, even at first watch, I saw the tag from not Peyton, Billy on the outside, so I sort of had an inkling of what was about to come. But it's funny, going into this match, if you looked at all four of these and you would have ranked their odds, I think the Iconics would have been the fourth most likely team to walk out of here with the title. So I thought I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Plus, those ass shakes were fantastic.
Oh,
Can we
from the
can we talk
fucking
about,
top balcony they were.
Can we talk about how much of a shame it is that Peyton Royce is wearing pants now?
They're tight pants. I'm okay
They're
with
tight
it.
pants, but she used to have the pants like Billy, where the ass cheeks would hang out of them. So it was kind of It was nice that that she shows up in like Eddie Guerrero pants, and it's like that's kind of been Sasha's thing for the longest time. So, and then of course after this match, the Iconics seem to be starting a feud with Paige for some reason. Paige apparently not very happy with the Iconics as the tag champion, says she is bringing a very special team to SmackDown next week after the Superstar shakeup. Everybody knows exactly who it is. It will not be a surprise. It'll be cool, but it will not be a surprise.
Well,
Everyone
the
knows
two eyes in Iconic look like two dicks, and Paige is like, I did that first on TV.
Yeah. Don't steal my gimmick, baby girl. All right. Anything else to say about...
Hi, everybody. Paige here.
No, to Jason's point, it was really quite good to see the Iconics win the titles. I was surprised. I completely thought they were just going to keep it on Sasha and Bailey. Apparently, Sasha has been pissing people off lately because
don't throw stupid fucking rumors that guy has just so people will pay him money.
Fine, but I like the Iconics winning, and like Jeff said, they're an actual team. Even if they can't work that well, their character work is great. I love their promos. I'm happy with it.
The only reason why Tuna Meltzer said that thing was because Sasha left or had to cancel a fucking show that she was going to be on, Wendy Williams' show. She had a family emergency. That piece of shit jumped to conclusions, being like, "Oh, she quit doing a show because she wants to quit WWE and she's done." No, he's just trying to get more subscribers to listen to his fat fucking ass, and he's stirring the pot. Don't fucking believe it. Don't listen to it. Don't believe also that Robert Evans got fired because he put Vince McMahon's name in Bret Hart fucking thing. No, motherfucker. That didn't goddamn happen. It was leading up to that. There's shit that happens before that. And Road Dogg didn't step down because of the fact that Robert Evans got fired. He stepped down because he was sick of Vince McMahon changing fucking shit every goddamn week. It's hard to be a writer on the WWE because everything you do gets changed every fucking day. Okay? Stop using Tuna Meltzer as a news source. It's not fucking real. He's wrong more times than he's right.
He's garbage.
Moving on.
I will say, I just want to pose a question. What team do you think they'll bring up for Paige?
The US Pirates!
Did you really not get that, or are you being sarcastic?
Ah!
Jeff's Irish.
What happened?
What the fuck?
How did you even do that?
What?
I feel like
What
I'm
I
seeing
do?
a paranormal activity.
Dude, you're green.
Just getting ready for the main event.
Do you not know that you're green?
Wait, let me see.
No, now you're back.
Holy shit.
There you
Try it
go.
again. How are you doing that?
Night vision,
Fucking,
motherfucker.
I keep my keep my secrets.
This is like One Night in China.
All right, so apparently Jeff is angry. And
Or green with envy.
there you go. So
Let's see if I can
moving,
fix that.
moving right along, Jeff is getting in the spirit because our next match features
Or about to fuck a very muscular dead woman.
There we go.
Good.
Our next match features Eco Warrior Daniel Bryan and Biodiesel taking on Kofi Kingston.
Why'd you turn it off for, Jeff? Now we lost all our entertainment.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We're
Let's see
doing
if I can
video
fix it.
now. This is entertaining the fans at home, dude.
All right, fine. Jesus.
Well, now you're
Jesus.
back to normal. I don't know how you keep changing the color of your screen, but it's fun.
And for red bitches, that's next.
Yeah.
No, I was saying what I said was, well, what tag team do you think they're going to bring in from NXT?
We told you the Sky Pirates because everyone knows they're bringing up the Sky Pirates. It's the only
Oh yeah, I didn't.
the only
Every
team
time
they
Didn't
he
have.
hear
says
any of
Sky
that.
Pirates, he goes green.
It's really weird.
My fucking internet's still a potato, guys. It's still a potato.
This, ladies and gentlemen, listening to this is why you watch us on YouTube. Because right now nobody has any fucking clue what's going on if they haven't watched the fucking.
Shit.
So Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. I am going to take my headset off and I'm going to let you guys talk about it because otherwise I will be mercifully ripped.
Oh, I can rip you. Leave your headset on.
What do you mean?
You know, Troy, it's cool. I respect somebody who takes a firm stand against something.
Yeah.
You're wrong. You gotta own it. That's all. It's cool.
I'm not gonna. I'll start right off. I mean, I won't even bring up the fact that what he is taking his headphones off for. The match was exactly what you wanted it to be. You know what it almost reminded me of? How Brian was reversing everything of Kofi's. It reminded me of John Cena versus JBL when Cena won his first heavyweight championship. Because JBL kept reversing every single thing that Cena threw at him until the end. But this was probably the best recent feel-good moments in wrestling history. In recent history. It was fucking amazing. And yeah, I mean, it was a really good match overall, I thought. The counters were nice, especially when Kofi went for the running double stomp and Brian caught him into a Boston Crab. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, good for Kofi.
So we did have a little bit of confusion during this match, right at the beginning, because all of a sudden there was a podium out there. And we're like, all right. So the podium clearly had a belt on it. And then they proceeded to put the old belt on top of that. But then Big E had a present. And I think most of us were starting to think, that's probably the heel turn. So we're like, well, they're clearly bringing back the old belt, which is like, all right, well, you kind of told us who was going to win at that point then. Because you could have brought the new belt. You could have had the new belt in the thing instead of having a podium out there. Or you could have waited for the new belt until, the next night. But I get it. You want to have pictures of it like that. But obviously, once they brought Kofi's kids into the ring, we were like, okay, yeah, they're definitely not doing a heel turn right now. Which it would have been fun. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And so again, my stance leading up to this was I didn't think that they were going to put the title on Kofi. I am pleasantly happy that I was wrong because, we kind of talked about the race thing, but this is more than just a black world champion. We've had the Rock. This is the first African-born black world champion, and
I was born in Jamaica.
Nope, he was born in Ghana, and that's something that's makes this whole thing a lot fucking crazier. Is like this is an actual guy from Africa that they put the title on, which considering their reluctance to put it on anyone not born in America or Canada. And then yeah, I mean it was the best thing about Kofi right now is
famous.
I said reluctance. I didn't say that they never did.
Oh, okay.
They had a Mexican be the world champion a couple times too.
Right.
So with Kofi, he doesn't have to act, and because their emotion is real, and that's the best part about it. Daniel Bryan, when he won the championship, all of his emotion that he had was real. Kofi can't fucking keep his shit together every time they talk about him. The fans chant him stuff like that. He is literally almost crying every chance that you see him, and that's the kind of champion that you want in your baby face. So no, like I said, did I think they were going to do it? No. Am I glad they did it? Yes. So go ahead.
So you draw the interesting comparison there to Daniel Bryan, and that's sort of the one everybody's drawn, and it's an apt comparison, except that I think this exceeds Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan, you represented for the underdogs, where this is a cultural thing. Like this is an entire race of people who feel they've been marginalized in this product now for the first time, feeling sort of represented. And the first time I saw it actually was Ginger's posted on Facebook the video of Shad Gaspard and MVP watching as Kofi got the 3 count, and you can just see what that meant for a guy like MVP who's been around forever, has done everything. He's toured Japan. He's been a world champion in Impact. But what that moment meant for him. Just silently, you see the emotion, the tears starting to sort of come up. This was huge, and you could see it in Woods and Big E, and you know, I've said on this show in the past, I think people got a little too picky about like which world championship somebody, but I'm a white dude. And I can't sit here and tell somebody how they should feel about being represented in their race. And clearly, this was a big deal for people of that particular race, and that's amazing. And that just makes that moment even more special. And in retrospect, looking back and seeing how everything played out, this probably should have closed the show.
Yes.
This was the feel good moment. Everything was sort of downhill from here. You weren't going to top this. I understand it was also, but at the same time, when we talk representation, the women main eventing was also big in that regard too. So both those spots had sort of that same thing going for them. I just think the two endings, if you juxtapose them, shows you which one should have closed it just because of how it was booked to finish. The match itself, I thought was good. I thought there were spots where it was a little clunky, but in the end, I think it worked to their advantage because it felt like a real fight. It felt like Kofi was fighting for his life. He felt like a guy fighting the biggest match of his life, fighting for an entire race of people who wanted him to win, fighting for every underdog regardless of skin color. He was the ultimate underdog, the perfect person for that role, and scored a victory that transcended wrestling and sports entertainment for that night. And it was easily the moment, one of the greatest feel good. I think I said in the host thread, probably right up there for me with Liz and Macho reuniting as the all-time greatest feel-good moment in WrestleMania history.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of look at some of the other first-time champions. You look at a guy like Eddie Guerrero when he won the world championship, and how the Mexican and Spanish people had been portrayed up until that point.
Yeah, but Mysterio had already held the title at that point, right?
Eddie Hill
was Ray. Oh no, Ray was after. Ray was after. That's right. You're right.
After that, but that was a big time for Latinos in general because you had two guys who were at the top of the company, and we hadn't really had that with the African American community. And like I said, I mean, yes, The Rock is half black and half Samoan, but he's never portrayed that way. He's never portrayed as a black guy, really. So, but this obviously with a guy who, born in Africa, by all accounts, probably should have never even made it to being a wrestler. Was able to come, to America and be successful.
So to your point, and I've had a lot of discussions with people about that whole thing about The Rock, and there's another guy I know who posted something sort of snarky like, "Oh, today I learned for the first time that The Rock wasn't actually the first black champion," or something along those lines, and I get where people are coming from with that. I do. I understand that there's a segment of society that will sit there and say history is what it is. You can't pick and choose which history you want to believe and you want to support. It just is. And I get that. At the same time, this was not a moment about logic. This was a moment about emotion. And if people feel represented for the first time by this victory, then let them fucking feel it. Let them say it. Let them scream it from a fucking mountaintop, because you know what? You just made the fan base of the sport that you enjoy more inclusive, and hats off to everyone involved for that.
Yeah. We, kind of lost in this as well as the fact that, Becky Lynch wound up being the first Irish-born person to main event WrestleMania. And it was a big thing for, yep, you're thinking about it, but it's true. Sheamus never main evented, and Finn Balor definitely never main evented. Sheamus was the one who actually said it, that she's the first Irish-born WWE wrestler to main event at WrestleMania. And that's a big thing for them, too, I mean, because that's another, a lot of Irish-born wrestlers that were in the WWE have been not exactly utilized. Yes, Sheamus is a multi-team champion and stuff like that, but he was also teamed up with Hornswoggle for a while, obviously Finn Balor has kind of bounces back and forth between if they're going to take him seriously or not. But yeah, I mean, obviously, the bigger takeaway from that is the fact that 3 women main evented WrestleMania, not just the fact that one of them is Irish, Whereas this is a black guy that won the championship, and he's a guy that his character is proud black guy. That's how he's portrayed as, that their whole group is like we're 3 black guys that were marginalized in the company. We got together to make things better for us.
But even over and above that, and while they danced around the race thing, and people like me, but Kofi went on every press junket prior to it and made a point to say, when I say people like me, I'm talking about people who are underdogs, people who don't necessarily look like you would consider them a champion. But so he was saying it, but he was making it as inclusive as humanly possible, so as to not sit there and say he didn't want to go into this thing and come out of this thing, and I don't think wanted to come out of this thing as a black champion. I don't think that was his goal. I think it's a great, great sidebar, but it's sort of like what we had the discussion in the past with oh my god, I'm blanking on his name now. Fred Bone Crusher Sampson. I forget what it. Fuck. Starts with a D. I forget what his name in WWE was. Darren Young. Didn't want to identify as the first gay wrestler. He just wanted to be a wrestler who was gay.
Well, look at Sonya.
Right, and I sort of feel like Kofi's the same thing. Like, he didn't go into this and he didn't want his moment to be about his race. He knew it was a big part of it, but he wanted this moment to be as inclusive for everyone as it could possibly be. So I just think that was really well done in that regard.
Yeah, can I go off of that? I've been dying to talk about this. And Jason, to your point, this was more about Kofi as an individual, even ahead of the race, because when I'll start with the highlight package that they played, the video package going into the match, and you saw this young kid in 2008 and his entire highlight of his career, and then it gets to the part where the New Day and he's winning all the tag team championships and it's revitalizing his career. But for all and purposes, right before New Day, this was a guy that was on the chopping block for a number of years when that spring cleaning came around. So then he makes it. He gets to this point where he's all of a sudden he's in a world title picture, and Corey Graves called it on the video package 100%. Are we seeing the best Kofi of his career? And I think we absolutely did. This was not a spot 3 months ago. If you told me they were going to put Kofi Kingston in the spot, I thought it would have worked. But God, did it work. It was the fucking best thing I've seen at Mania. And like you said, it exceeded the Daniel Bryan. Because this is a guy who, by all accounts, never thought he was going to be the WWE champion. It was a big moment, obviously, for African Americans, for blacks, for people who are underdogs. I got to tell you, I think it has a lot to do with Kofi as a person, too, because if this is Mark Henry a few years ago, I don't think this is as big of a deal. From all accounts and from everything everybody said, he's a great guy backstage. He's a great father. He's a great husband. And then you get into the match, and I will give Daniel Bryan all the credit in the world. He shined up Kofi like a motherfucker. Because there were so many points where you thought, like, Kofi can't beat him. Especially after the running knee. I thought he was pinned after the running knee. I thought they were going to go all Triple H and Booker T, and Daniel Bryan was going to pin him clean in the middle of the ring, and that was going to be the end of his push. But thank God they didn't. Because when Kofi hit that Trouble in Paradise and he got the pinfall, the fucking place exploded. Now, I will say to Troy's point, there was a little bit, not question, but to have the podium with the belt covered up and then to have the gift, you kind of wondered when the match started, like, what's that about? Are they going to turn, like, or is that just a new belt? Because that's the first thing you thought of was, oh, new belt. But it worked. I'm glad he held up the classic WWE Championship. Huge pop, by the way, when they unveiled that it was the original WWE Championship as opposed to the wooden hemp title. So, and then of course him bringing his kids in the ring, that was awesome. It was a fucking great moment.
All the feels. If I had one small, tiny, insignificant, almost nitpick, it would be for me because the story of this match has been the 11-year struggle of Kofi to get to this moment. I would have had, you do the New Day music, Woods and E come out, and then they point to the entrance, and then you hear the SOS song.
Yes,
that would have been
that
to me.
is true.
That's the only thing I think that could have made this a little bit better.
All right, so Jeff, tell us about it live, and then we got to move on because it's already late.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that there's not a whole lot more that I could say. I can only add really my live input, and you guys really covered that really well. I mean, the crowd was so hot for Kofi. Him coming out, they were good. They wanted him to win so bad, and when he finally did win against all odds, against the corporation, which this was the most recent, like, wrestler versus the corporation, I guess, storyline they built up that actually worked in the past. When was the last one? When was the last one that actually? Yeah, okay, so that was the last one that actually worked,
and that was 5 years ago.
So it was just a feel-good moment all around, and I was to Jason's point, where he said that he thought that this should close WrestleMania. Me and my friends were talking after the whole card, and we just said, yeah, that should have closed WrestleMania because everybody was so, like, on a high after he won that. Everybody was so excited. They put all their energy into that. And this was the match I was most excited about seeing because of the emotion that was going to be put into this match. It lived up to the expectation and then some. We literally put all of our expectation into this match, and it delivered. The match was great. The ending was amazing. It was his kids coming into the ring was just another level. And then then you go to the rest of the match. So we'll just the rest of the card. We'll go to the rest of the card. I don't want to put too much into this.
But Jeff, real quick, that this match took place around 9:30. This match takes place at 12:30. Are we still getting that same type of energy from that crowd?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you have,
we had a 5-second dance
Kofi Kingston. Exactly, Kofi Kingston. Literally, just the story they built behind this guy on such a short notice. Everybody, like, as soon as he came out, even, like, because, WrestleMania, you're going to have wrestling fans there, and you're going to have people who just go there because it's WrestleMania, right? And they have the money. Everybody cheered. Everybody cheered like their fucking, like, it was like their brother won. Yeah. Like their family won. And they were just cheering their asses off, and it would have been the best way to end the night. And it's really hard to follow something like that, but they tried. They certainly tried. We'll continue. Let's go. Let's move on.
The big news coming out of this is that Big E revealed that he has a torn meniscus. And he'll be out for 6 weeks. Now, we don't know if that means he's not going to appear. We know for sure he's not going to wrestle. We know that when Woods broke his ankle, he still was out there with a New Day every day.
It's clear he did it on the split, right?
So,
absolutely.
It sounded like he claims that he did it on a cross-country. So, I don't know how he did that, but that's at least what he said when he announced that he had torn his meniscus. And if you haven't seen the tweet, he made a poem about it. So, it's, and then also there was some reports that maybe Daniel Bryan was hurt during this match. No real word has been given on what kind of injury or the extent of an injury, but more on that once we hear a little bit more. So then we had an interesting matchup. as Samoa Joe took on Rey Mysterio and proceeded to squash him. I don't know. Is there anything that you guys want to say about this match?
I mean, not really. I mean, I did. This was one of those really weird fucking things. They started this thing with Dominic being involved, and he was nowhere to be found during the entire fucking set. Like, the other thing I think of is it's funny to sort of put it side by side because I just last week did Salvation with Sal for 25. And he had Mysterio beating JBL in that really super quick match, and Jeff just went green again. And and so just sort of interesting that just covered that, and now Ray's on the other side of it at WrestleMania this year. But there's really not a ton to say about this thing.
I will say this: congrats to Joe. He is the one champ that has survived the week.
So far.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
There's still NXT tapings going on, I think.
I will say I did give a bit of a fib earlier. I did watch the entirety of the women's tag match. I just didn't remember a whole lot of it. This was the actual piss break match. It wasn't a piss break match. What happened was after the big high of that, I actually had to go piss and I had to get food because I hadn't eaten dinner yet. So like I left. And I heard Rey Mysterio's music, and I'm like, oh, okay. I love Rey Mysterio. Let me go grab this pretzel, and then it was over. And
and then you heard Samoa Joe's music.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, is the match over? I was like, what the fuck? What? So I go run back, and yeah, it was over. So I missed the entirety of the match. I don't think I missed much.
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, I was. I mean, the smart booking choice here is to put somebody else in that spot, but I'm assuming Rey Mysterio he wanted to be at WrestleMania. I mean, he's making his comeback into the company. He wanted to perform at WrestleMania, and you know, it is what it is.
I mean, one, he was hurt going into it, so there may have been a way to come back.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He was hurt. He wanted to be in it.
Stop making me angry.
Second off, we just spent 10 minutes with Jeff telling us that he didn't watch the fucking match. Okay.
Also, someone needs to figure out the amount of the size of Jeff's bladder, because now we know when he took piss breaks. So.
No, I only took one. I told you I didn't actually go during the women's match.
If you listen to
I was lying.
Cruiserweight, piss is kind of Jeff's thing. He's true.
Yeah, it's true. But
You might want to lay off the Mountain Dew though, because it's turning green.
With Yellow 5.
So the over on SmackDown, I had a bit of a gripe with how they did the Raw and SmackDown in general, but you know we put such an emphasis on the Superstar shakeup where it was every other fucking sentence during the broadcast. But then to do it a week early, you had Samoa Joe, squashes somebody else, and then Braun Strowman comes out, and they kind of do a little bit of a thing where Braun can't pick up Samoa Joe, which I don't think was supposed to be.
No, Joe went up like a fucking ton of shit. He didn't give him anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I love that, actually.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I thought it added to showing how strong Braun is that he actually deadlift Joe. I actually thought it added to it.
So,
yes and no.
Yeah, but again, like I'm all for Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman. That's awesome. I'm all for it.
Yep.
This segment was good. It was a week early. It was a week too early.
I don't know if it was a week early.
So I think both Raw and SmackDown and I think this is sort of this speaks to sort of a disorganization within the company at large, because they've done fucking specials based around how big they consider the Raw after Mania and even the SmackDown after Mania to be, and they completely shot themselves in the foot with it by scheduling the shakeup to be the week after that episode of Raw, because it puts them in a position where they can't start any angles because they can't telegraph who's going to be where next week, so you can't start a major program because then the guy could be on the next show the next week. And you can't, so you really put yourself in a situation where you can't do anything special. You don't do a call-up because they're going to shake up next week. So you just took your most anticipated show of the year and made it a complete non-factor.
And you know what? Ginger called it last week. He said they blew their load early. Because who the fuck did they have to call up?
Oh, I see. I disagree with that because I think there's a lot of stuff they could do.
And they might still do. But the fact that the biggest debut on both shows was a guy who really, really is reminding me of Gene Snitsky now. Lars Sullivan?
No.
Seriously?
No, the big return was Sami Zayn.
No, that's a return. I'm talking about a debut.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Well, technically he is, yeah, it is debut. But...
And Lars Sullivan, yeah, he debuted, but, I mean, you did. You kind of blew your load a little earlier like that, but I understand what they were trying to do. The only other thing we could have had was maybe, Candice, because she was obviously so maybe they would have brought up the Sky Pirates for this week or something like that, but yeah, it's the scheduling on this thing. Is if you did the shakeup this week, then Braun Strowman showing up on SmackDown, you're like, oh fuck,
right?
Start a program with the name of that, and then then you're able to bring the Sky Pirates up. You're able to bring up whoever else that you wanted that is going to come up and everything like that. But instead, what we get is Braun Strowman attacks Samoa Joe, and if they don't pull the trigger on putting him on the same show, this goes nowhere.
Right.
So.
By the way, as we danced around the Sky Pirates thing a little bit here, and we touched on it a little bit earlier too. But can I just say
Sky Pirates?
That is
I'd touch them.
Fucking the alliance with Paige is the perfect fucking formula for these girls. First off, it gives
because Paige exactly.
Exactly.
Yep.
Think of true. What has hurt Asuka and Nakamura most on the main roster, and that's the inability to further storylines with promos. Having Paige there solves that problem for those girls and gives them a chance to just be the great in-ring performers they are and get over that way while Paige is talking.
Because now you get Paige that she comes out as a pirate, and I get to make anal jokes left and right. And she gets to go, Iconics, baby girl. My Japanese girls are going to come and whip your asses, baby girl.
Which is a little weird in the context of her as a guest commentator on WrestleMania. She couldn't put over the Iconics enough and how much she respected them and how they like. It was sort of weird now that she's like bringing in a team to knock them off.
Yeah, I think she was giving a more personal feeling.
Yeah,
because I think that's what they wanted to do for WrestleMania on that aspect.
Or they just decided the fucking next day to do this angle, and they had no idea they were going to do it at WrestleMania.
Well, she's back to her normal job now. Then.
So one of the things that I forgot to bring up about the women's match was, so they did guest commentators on a lot of different matches. And
Jesus, too many.
They had Paige, and I went, oh, Paige on commentary. I could get behind this. And then about a minute into the match, I was like, no, please.
Oh, see, I thought she was good. I enjoyed her.
She wasn't bad, but there was a couple of times there was a big impact when she went, oh gosh.
Like, if you give me Paige on commentary or Renee Young, I'm going Paige. If you give me Paige or Beth Phoenix, I'm going Paige. So
true.
Poor Jeff has no fucking clue what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, well, no.
He's going to turn green again in a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to get angry.
He knows they were guest commentators, obviously. They played their music and shit like that in the arena. Right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Jeff was pissing at that point, though. Yeah. Every time.
So, two
things. I heard it.
Number one, we're all going to be disappointed when Paige brings in Ginny and Isla Dawn next week.
No. It's gonna be fucking Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne. That's who
be there for that. Actually,
that's who it's gonna be. I'm calling it now.
All right.
But why would the Iconics are heels? It's got
so Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah come in as baby faces. So what?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody fucking gives a shit who they come in as.
And you can't have Aaliyah and Carmella on the same fucking unless they're teaming up.
You just don't want to be wrong because you said they were getting nowhere near those tag titles.
They're not.
Second of all,
but they do need to stop putting them on TV because my penis can only get so erect.
I mean, they can move Carmella to Raw. That's fine.
Second thing.
Who's going to dance with our truth?
R-Truth can move to Raw too. It's not a,
I was gonna say
it's
R-Truth
not
can
only
go with
one
them.
person that's going over to each show.
R-Truth and No Way Jose. That's gonna be the next.
Oh,
big feud.
maybe we put R-Truth on both shows.
Oh god.
I think Adam's head would explode.
Well, I mean, he's already going to be upset because the number of Asian people are going to double. So
Oh god.
all right. So,
Second thing, real quick about the guest commentators.
Oh, fuck off!
Booker T got screwed. He came out for the Rey Mysterio match. I was like, wait, that's it?
No,
Just sat down.
No, Booker T
Listen,
didn't-
we
Booker
gave
T
you the World's Heavyweight Championship, alright?
No, Booker T didn't get screwed because nobody wants to hear that shit anymore. Okay, so the next match was a loser gets leukemia match. Roman Reigns took on.
God, we told you
You
not to
dick.
say last
You
week.
dick.
I was sitting there reading it, and then when you said it, I was like, ah.
So Roman Reigns won this match.
Yeah, can we just agree? First off, horrible placement, trying to be
Yeah.
after the whole Kofi thing.
Yep.
Second
Absolutely.
off, match not good. Okay,
No,
yeah,
didn't work
not
well.
really.
And third, wrong guy won because Drew McIntyre
Yeah.
should have won. Can we all just
Wow.
agree to that? Move on.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
the better news that we had was what happened on SmackDown. So obviously Roman Reigns is always left off at this point unless they want to use him to cultivate boos because he was going to get booed out of the building. They didn't want that, so he got left off for this week 6. Drew McIntyre shows up on SmackDown, proceeds to get himself in the 6-man tag match to end the night where the New Day took on the Bar and Drew McIntyre. And not sure if you noticed it, Drew McIntyre disappeared halfway
Yeah.
through that match.
Invisible Man. Yep.
And the reasoning that was given was that they told Drew McIntyre to walk away from the match so that way when the Bar lost, you wouldn't see him and wouldn't associate him with the loss. So they were trying to save
That's
him from the loss,
horrible.
even though he wouldn't take the pin. Essentially, WWE thinks that if we do not see somebody, we no longer believe they exist. We are toddlers.
This is also the same company that continues to tell us that Bianca Belair is on
No,
Fuck you.
the.
don't. Just don't.
It's not.
Me?
Yeah, don't. No. Ted. But I got you.
I muted him. It's okay.
Fucking God.
Oh, I don't know. Can I? I don't know. That
Can you
What
unmute
is
him?
that?
I don't
Let's
know that
move
I
on.
can unmute him.
Oh
Jason, I can't unmute
Oh,
you.
no. Troy can't unmute you, Jason.
See ya.
This is bad news.
Oh
no.
no!
Oh no.
What happened? How come I can mute him but not unmute him?
That is kind of bullshit.
Wait, you're not.
Huh? I'm not
Wait,
lying. I
you
can't unmute him.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let you try to figure that out. Yeah, this match was fucking goddamn garbage. It was sloppy. It wasn't that great. It wasn't a well constructed match. Everybody knew. Drew McIntyre should have won this match, but I think everybody knew Roman was gonna win it. That's the worst part about this, and they constructed it that way, just like cookie cutter, like
What I
one
hate-
spear, it's done.
They brought into this, him coming back from leukemia, and they did it a lot, and I didn't.
God, I didn't.
I mean, I think right from the beginning, as far as the commentators went, you knew who was going to win. And then, to Jason's point, it wasn't an exciting match. I thought these guys were really going to have a hoss fight and really take it to each other. They didn't. And
No, they didn't at all. Wait. So they mentioned this a lot. They mentioned the leukemia a lot.
oh fuck, dude! When
Okay,
Roman
so-
came out, that's all they talked about for the first 5 minutes.
So this is our big thing, right? I think everybody agreed that like once he comes back, you can't make that his crutch because
No.
it's only gonna last so fucking long. It's only gonna last so long before people are like, okay, we fucking get it. He had leukemia. He was out for fucking what was it, 5-6 months?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
and
6
I was
months.
saying that to a couple of the guys I was watching with. I was like, they got to be really careful how they handle him going forward because he was getting all the pops when he came back, and those will slowly start to disappear and turn into boos very quickly.
Not slowly, not even slowly anymore. They'll fucking go quick. He'll be gone for 6 months, come back, get pops, and then be within another 3, 4, 5 months, he'll be getting boos again.
Troy,
Yes.
have you
figured out?
fixed the problem?
No.
Okay, all right. So Roman Reigns, yeah. So he has a Superman punch. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, this match was. I was here for the whole fucking thing. It was nobody reacted to shit. I don't know if it came across that way on TV, but nobody cared. It was a terrible spot for this match, especially considering the match that took place after it. And by the way, I want to say Drew McIntyre, he'd be a great fit in the bar. He looks, I mean, body-wise, he'd be a perfect fit. You have the jacked tan one, you have the jacked pale one, and then you have the jacked hairy one.
Yeah, but I'm done with Drew in 3-man groups. Like seriously, that enough of that shit.
Oh, you don't like 3-man band? What?
Ginger, your thoughts on Roman versus Drew?
God, it was tough to watch, to be 100% honest with you. It was just like an Orton match. It was the same fucking match you were gonna get regardless. So it sucked. You knew Roman was gonna go over, which was a disappointment. It would have been a great fucking spot for Drew to go over. This would have launched him to the fucking moon. But
Yeah, he would have got so much fucking heat.
that's what I mean. Like, oh, the guy just came back from leukemia. Oh, he lost at WrestleMania. That would have been fucking
He
awesome.
pulled some bullshit, like fucking foot
Like,
on
if
the
he
ropes or
cheated,
just
yeah, some
something.
kind of cheating, it would have been fucking so much better.
Ted.
There it is. You fucking asshole.
What kind of
fucking-
shit fucking program doesn't let you unmute someone once you mute them? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that is weird.
So you figured it
But
out?
but yeah, that was
Yeah, he left the call and had to come back. That's what we had to do. All right.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's when we got fixed. No, that's true. And
Yeah,
now he's
that-
down there. But anyway, go ahead.
that match would have maybe gone over on as a main event on Raw, but for Mania it was just fucking
Are we on the main event now, or?
Roman
match.
and Drew. But we
Well,
can go to the next
real
match.
quick, Jason, how do you think about how they handle Roman going forward and what they need to do?
Just to cover, just so you don't like go over what we said, we basically just said you got to be careful with the leukemia talk, and we think Drew should have went over. He would have got nuclear heat if he won by cheating.
I said I thought wrong guy won, so yeah, obviously. But they've already sort of shown they're not going to hold back on the leukemia thing. They're going to use it. They've made that very fucking clear. Now, the other school of thought of that is it's still raising awareness. They're still donating money from
Yes.
his T-shirt sales. So I sort of understand if you're doing it and making sort of a noble cause out of it, I'm fine with it. As far as what they should do with him, and the reason to me he should have lost this match is that he should have spent the next year sort of playing through the I don't have it anymore, I can't do it anymore, the whole underdog thing. Do that for an entire fucking year, and then next year at WrestleMania he wins the Rumble, gets the shot at Seth, and then you culminate that story with him getting the title back in that spot.
Yeah.
That's the fucking angle. That's what you do, and they already fucked that up. So
They already, the redemption story. No, you got a point. That would have worked out great for him.
All right.
And
So
like you said, they already fucked it up.
Smathers wanted me to test something, so I muted Jeff, and I can't unmute him.
You serious?
He told me to click the little microphone next to their names, and it would work, and it's not working. So now I can't hear Jeff.
Nope. Can't hear him.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and bounce your ass, and I'm gonna bring it back.
Troy just volunteered to edit and post this episode tonight. That's basically what
You
just
really
happened.
did
I
that?
am.
That's why I literally said. I mean, you couldn't hear me,
Yeah.
but I literally said I have to leave the call because this piece of shit muted me, and then you left and dropped everyone.
So no. It's fucking Samantha's fault. He's trying to tell me to left click. I was left clicking, motherfucker. Look, when I left click, nothing happens. When I right click.
Oh, you just kicked me out?
Oh, I kicked you out. Yeah.
Oh.
But you're back.
Oh, okay. I thought you dropped the whole call.
No,
No,
I didn't drop the
no.
whole call. But I'm about to because we need to stop talking about leukemia
Alright.
and finish this fucking show. So.
All right. I'll go first. On this because
so-
mine's probably going to be the
so-
longest.
So here's an interesting problem.
Or Jason.
When I had to disconnect from the call, my Skype recorder stopped recording.
Yes, but
So
Troy's
did mine.
continued.
That's why I said Troy just volunteered to edit this bitch.
Oh my god.
And,
Which means Troy probably wants us to wrap this up. So, next match was Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
This is why I'm the host. The next match was Batista versus Triple H.
Oh yes.
Down on the fucking feet, dude.
okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just say
It's reading.
I didn't have a...
Batista's entrance couldn't have gone any worse.
Really?
Oh my god.
No, I'm telling you straight up. So he tripped coming into the ring. Everybody saw that.
Well, everybody's... Yeah, I'm talking about the Cadillac Escalades, though. That was pretty fancy.
Did they show that on camera?
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
on the broadcast?
Yeah.
So, okay, so what happened was the Cadillac Escalades, when he let them out, there was two tight fucking spaces. The
Mhm.
first Escalade pulled in, parked, no problem. Second Escalade comes in, and he fucking couldn't get that shit in there. Like, he pulled in and out. Like, his entrance music played for probably 5 minutes when he was trying to pull that fucking
God.
shit in
Okay.
out
so
of there.
We did not see that.
No, we didn't
Oh.
see that.
No, live playing for his entrance music went forever because I was just staring at this Escalade. He was like backing in. He almost got all the way in, and then he would pull back out. And I'm like, oh god!
Yeah,
I
it's
just
like on
picture
prom night.
Vince. I just picture Vince back there going, "Do it again, and just he's fucking. I swear to God, it was 25 fucking times this guy pulled out and went back in, and
Jesus.
It's funny every time you say that phrase, Jeff.
back out and in. Yeah, I know.
So,
But
yeah.
it was okay. So and then the only other thing I'll say about this match, and then you guys can move on or do your own thing, is the spot with the nose ring was horseshit, and the spot with the steel stairs was absolutely as brutal as it looked.
Oh, God.
All right. I am in the interest of truncating this for Troy's editing purposes. Way too fucking long. This should not have been the longest match on the
I
card.
told you guys.
This should
Agreed.
not have been 25 fucking minutes.
Call
You
that.
give me 10, 12 hot minutes for this. Go to town. I think they, from a physicality standpoint, did more than I expected them to be able to do.
Yeah.
I thought the false finishes were good. Didn't like the Superman sledgehammer punch. But all things considered, it's Mania. Hunter's going to win. We've established that. But it was entertaining in the process. So, and Batista tripping on his way into the ring is going to be an all-time WrestleMania moment. So,
And the fact that Batista fucking laughed about it for the entire fucking time until Triple H
how
was
the
fucking...
fuck does Batista not wear blue? What the fuck?
No, dude. I was thoroughly disgusted when he popped out of that Escalade. Pissed off, probably.
Yeah.
And not wearing blue, and I was just like, dude, how do you not wear that same gear that you
Exactly.
wore that night? I mean, everybody knew the nose ring spot was bullshit, but everybody popped for it because when the fuck has WWE ever done that, really? Never.
But it's Hunter.
Randy Orton.
What's
Just
Hunter
put Hunter in
to
the
do
air.
something like that?
Okay, yeah, but it was entertaining. It was something different. It was
No, I didn't-
cool.
look, The match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
I like the fact
Sure.
that, like, and I credit both you and Jason. I credit you and Troy on Revisited. Velveteen Dream had the entrance of the weekend for something that didn't seem to cost that much. Triple H poured a shit ton of money into his entrance.
Oh, and his fucking rat rod fucking flew right up the ramp and parked right away.
Triple H poured a hell of amount of money
Still
into
sounds
his entrance.
sexual.
and nobody cared.
In and out.
Nobody cared about Triple H's entrance. He does
No.
it. Fuck.
Well,
do.
he did it
Every year.
He's done the Mad Max thing before.
Yeah.
Because he had Stephanie on the back of the one bike, and it was definitely Mad Max.
Because that was absolutely Mad Max. Absolutely.
Can I just point out, and I've been super critical of the fucking build for this match since it basically started. One of my biggest problems with this match was, in a weird sense, the brutality.
Really?
Because you went from the week before telling fucking Spice Girls jokes to trying to rip a guy's fingers off with pliers.
2 weeks.
And the build did not fit the match.
Fair. Very fair.
But maybe they realized that and were like, we gotta make up for this fucking build because this build has sucked assholes.
But the match didn't fit the build we'd been given. You know what I mean? It's all part of telling the same story.
Yes.
And you told a story that didn't it wasn't linear and didn't make sense.
No,
Let's
but if you
also
took the beginning of the story when he attacked Flair at his birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you block out everything they did after that, yeah.
And that's what they were doing.
You know?
That's exactly
That's
what they were
did.
doing.
But then that means they did a shit poor job.
Yeah.
Batista killed Ric Flair, so let's fucking rip his fucking nose ring out.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm telling you, that fucking stair spot was bad.
Oh, Batista bounced like off the
He,
stairs.
he bounced and slid off the stairs. That's the worst part.
And he's 50.
For a fucking that's what I'm saying. That
Yeah,
shit was
honestly.
brutal.
yeah, he was
And
out.
it was loud. as
I will
fuck.
give him credit for that. They fucking brought it in this match.
Yeah.
And he retired afterwards.
So next match, Demon Finn Balor versus Lashley. Because let's skip that fucking horse shit.
Baron Corbin beat Kurt
Ah.
Angle's final match.
We need a fucking reading comprehension course for the rundown host.
No, I skipped it on
Travis did,
purpose. Mine was on purpose because this
Okay.
fucking horse shit.
I forget.
How does he not come out chugging milk?
I don't know if you want to get all sweaty
All right, so
after drinking milk.
ultimately, do you want to know what this WrestleMania card fucking needed?
Yes.
We're not talking about this match.
But
Jason.
But do you know what? Do you know what fixes all of the problems with this card, or two of the biggest problems of this card? If it's Kurt Angle versus Drew McIntyre, and Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Roman can squash Corbin, no problem. Get the win you want Roman to get at WrestleMania. Fits the bill because remember, Corbin talked shit about Roman immediately after the leukemia thing.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with Kurt Angle originally started with Drew McIntyre making him tap out, and Drew winning that match against Angle, nobody has a fucking problem with. Swapping those two people fixes everything that was wrong with both matches.
Except for the fact that you would pretty much know that Kurt Angle's not winning that match
Who the
going
fuck
into it.
cares? We knew he wasn't winning this match. Well, everyone except for
I had high hopes.
Okay, how about this? You do Kurt Angle versus John Cena, and then you throw fucking Drew McIntyre in the fucking battle royal, have him win it.
No,
Because nobody
Yes,
cares.
because winning that battle royal has really skyrocketed people's fucking careers.
They probably offered it to Drew, and Drew's like,
By
fuck
putting him in
that.
By putting him in that battle royal, you tell
But
your fans,
losing
we
the
consider
Roman
this guy
Reigns
a
does
jobber.
nothing.
What's that?
Losing the Roman Reigns does nothing, and then putting him with the fucking bar does nothing.
But that's what I said, Jeff. I said he should have won that match against Roman Reigns. My point is, if you put him in there with Angle, he gets the rub of winning at WrestleMania. He gets to beat Kurt. He gets the heat of beating Kurt Angle in his last match. It fixes all the problems.
Except for the fact that I picked Kurt Angle to win, and I wanted to win that fucking match. I would have won the whole thing.
Well,
Hey,
then make better picks. Although I will say, Jeff, you've had a real turnaround lately. Your picks have been much better than
Not bad. Not bad. I will say.
apparently I took over that.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right, Ginger. I got one right in a fucking pay-per-view before, so.
Oof. Did anybody else think that Kurt was going to die on that moonsault, by the way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Hey, you know what? He got rotation
Every-
on it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I'm telling you, in the crowd, when he climbed the fucking ropes, everybody just went, "Oh no!"
Oh, shit.
Guys,
They just went, "Oh,
it was
no."
better than Lita at the Rumble. or
Well,
at Evolution.
that's
I'll tell you
true.
that much.
The look
That's
on
true.
Troy's face tells you, like, I went from I don't want to fucking talk about this match to we're on minute 7 talking about this match. Shut the fuck up.
So let's talk about Elias.
Yeah, and then we have another bullshit match to talk about.
Let's talk about Elias. So Elias tried to do his concert, and this segment got me laughing my ass off.
Yes.
Elias proceeds to turn his attention to the Titantron, where Elias is on a Titantron in front of a drum set, and proceeds to start doing a drum beat. Then next to him is Elias on the piano, and then this motherfucker does a live guitar performance to a pre-recorded fucking piano and drum set. That's fucking hard to do. Okay? So he proceeds to have a concert with himself. And then we're all waiting for who's going to interrupt him, and the fucking Doctor of Thugonomics interrupts him.
Fuck that guy.
And
All that shit.
so Cena comes out and says he's gonna rap. And
In a Yankees jersey with a
In a Babe Ruth jersey, mind you.
Dude, Go ahead.
Jeff, tell me, did anyone know what the fuck was going on when we had like a 35-minute Yankees fucking tribute?
No, not a fucking clue. Because I am telling you straight up, everybody was just like, you literally heard like the what? What is that? What? Like, what's going on? I don't know why they're playing Babe Ruth. I don't get it. And like okay. So I will say, did the live performance come across well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It came off really good.
Because live,
Oh, it was probably
It was-
fucking awful.
it was fucking horrendous. He was so off key on his guitar was off key. I don't know who fucking tuned his guitar. And yes, that's really hard to do. I get that, but he wasn't even playing to the beat. Like it was. So I don't know if they fucking had a pre-recording or something that they played over it,
They must
but
have.
it live, it was fucking horrendous. I was just like, I'm like, he's not even fucking. Is he fucking actually playing to the beat? And
Wait.
no.
Side note: when they started playing the Babe Ruth video, I actually thought for half a second that it was going to be Enzo.
That would have been fucking funny.
Like his thought,
I
like
would've-
greatest of all time, the freaking calling his shot. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Enzo.
As much as that would have been funny,
God.
Dr. Thugonomics was good.
So
Speaking of which, we have to,
Absolutely, it was. You know how long people have been waiting for that shit?
so John Cena comes
I
out,
was-
makes
I was-
a
Speaking of which, guys, we still have to cover the G1 Supercard after this, so let's get this shit moving.
Okay, let's go. Come on.
So Cena does one of his raps. He mentions turning heel. He clearly was not turning heel in this because he was against a heel. And then brings back a favorite of mine, his package of nuts, and proceeds to say that Elias's face looks like his nuts, except he has a bigger beard or bigger bush. Sorry.
Bigger Bush.
Yeah, he throws the fucking nuts at him, and then claims that the AA is now back to the FU, and proceeds to FU him. And
One night
leaves.
only.
So
Which
then-
was great.
yeah. So then over on Raw, Elias comes out, does his own thing, does a rap of his own, and proceeds to say the next person to interrupts me is a dead man. And then the
Okay.
Undertaker's music hit.
Let's just
And
say
he
this,
still hasn't
this
made it to the
segment
Yeah.
was the same Cena segment, but 60 years older.
Undertaker,
It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah. So Undertaker, of course, takes forever to get there, and the entire time I'm watching this on Raw, I was like, we have a main event to get to. Like, they're going to have to cancel the match at this point. But he gets in there. Elias doesn't know if he wants to battle or not. Undertaker beats the shit out of him, chokeslams him, walks out of there. That's pretty much it. So,
It's gonna be great when Elias beats him.
at Blood in the Sand,
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right. He put him against Rusev, though. Rusev last year, and it was a squash match in like 2 minutes.
All right, everyone, pull your dicks up when Sal gets back.
All right. I'm
so,
ready.
So yeah, so and
Why is your dick green, Jeff? Sorry.
Smathers Smathers is correct that
Angry.
Taker should have shaved his head because apparently he's in a fight with his hairline. So the next match...
Yeah, he's also going gray and not fighting it at all anymore.
Yeah, the next match, the almighty Bobby Lashley took on the Demon Finn Balor. This was a match.
Nothing.
Yeah, Lashley...
Way too much fucking demon tongue. I was not there for it.
Yeah. So Lashley dominated, but then the Demon was able to get back, hits the coup de grace, and...
Coup de grace.
proceeds to... No, I'm not calling it that.
That's how it's pronounced, dude.
I don't believe you. So the Demon Balor wins the IC belt. Not much else to say about this match, but what we did get over on Raw was the return of Sami Zayn. And Sami returned and instantly fell on his fucking face on his way out.
A lot of people falling down in this WrestleMania weekend.
So Sami stumbles, falls, and then proceeds to lay out on the fucking ramp for a little bit and to collect himself. Finally gets back in the ring, says that he's here to take on whoever ever is in the back. Finn Balor comes out. They have a really good match, but it ends in Finn Balor retaining. So then Sami grabs a mic and says, while I was gone, I thought, that, the time away and everything like that would have been good for me, and it made me realize that I still don't like any of you. So instantly turns heel for a crowd.
Love it.
Fucking chanting his song, and he got them to boo him.
I'd have waited a week until they're in Montreal to do this, but that's what it is.
But then he proceeds to have a fucking awesome promo, and then somehow topped it on SmackDown by right before the main event. His music hits, he comes out, he looks around and goes, "You're not worth it," and fucking drops the mic and walks away. And I was like, oh yes, that was the perfect.
I only wish that they hadn't announced Drew McIntyre as the partner and Sami came out so people thought he was the partner, and then he did this. Yeah. The other thing I took away from this is apparently Finn Balor and the Demon are going to freebird that shit. So
apparently, yeah. But yeah, so Sami ends his promo on Raw by saying "See you in hell" and drops the mic, ends his fucking promo on SmackDown. I'm gonna say you're not worth it. So perfect fucking heel work, and Did
you mute Jeff again?
No, he just decided not to. Oh, he muted himself.
He's showing him.
He's probably pissing. See, I bet you.
I was pissing.
I was gonna see if I could unmute you while you were doing that. So that takes us to our main event: Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair. So I know all of you are going to have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and never come back to this call.
I cannot mute you though. I fucking gotta kick you out.
He really fucking muted himself.
That match was so underwhelming in so many ways.
I think the girls worked hard. I think they all worked
hard,
their asses off.
But they put way too much into this, and it didn't live up to the hype, in my opinion. Other people, it might have satisfied other people, but for me, it was just, okay, you guys have built this up. Let's see what you got. It was meh. Few botch spots. I mean, that's gonna happen, but they're probably nervous. Understandable. First main event of Mania, but you gotta shake those fucking nerves, because otherwise, this is what happens. And the one thing that I still don't understand, how the fuck did Ronda break her hand?
Well, if that's true, if you look at when she landed on the outside, the first thing she put her hand down. So if her body weight falling flat, down, though. Yeah, but maybe it wasn't.
I've watched that fucking thing 50 goddamn times, and I can't fucking see it. She lands perfectly. Lands a little awkward, but it's not. Yeah, it's got to be, because she's gonna bring fucking Shayna Baszler and the fucking 4 Horsewomen and all that shit for SummerSlam. It's gonna be a 8-woman tag match, but that's my opinion. The match was okay.
Well, that's Ginger's prediction, which means it's absolutely not what's going to happen. So,
but it was good that Becky went over. The fucking finish. Oh my god.
Shades of WrestleMania 8. The finish got fucked. It's
Oh yeah.
No, it didn't.
Dog fucked. Well,
You don't
it
think
didn't
it
get
did?
fucked. That's the thing. It didn't
The
get
shoulder
it
up.
didn't-
The shoulder up was fucked, but the
Yeah,
that's what I
mean.
meant. That's what I
Yeah.
meant. The shoulder up.
Yeah, the shoulder up fucked everything up, and everybody's like, "Oh, shit! Just count to 3, finish it," and made it look like fucking shit for the end. So
Psst. By the way, Ronda actually broke her hand by punching the girls.
Yes.
That is legit, actually. So it wasn't when she fell. It was
it
when
wasn't
she's
when-
throwing the quick punches. She winds up breaking her hand.
So Ginger talked about the problems with the match being related to nerves, and I don't even know that it so much was nerves. I think what you saw was these girls went out there and put so much pressure on themselves to blow the roof off in the main event of WrestleMania that they were almost trying too hard to be too stiff, to lay everything in, and the result of that was shit was getting messed up and looking worse. And there were some really fucking stiff spots in this match. So I do 100% believe that's what's happening. First off, okay, so my first issue with this. Charlotte gets the helicopter entrance, which was, if you listen to Revisited, I mentioned a throwback to Ric Flair's entrance at the 85 Great American Bash. So I loved that because that was a throwback to old school wrestling moments. Loved that. Then Ronda Rousey gets Joan Jett to play her out to the fucking ring. Fantastic. Well, Jeff didn't like it, but whatever. Fantastic to me. And then Becky's music hits, and Becky just walks out to her normal entrance. And right off the bat, the person who this match is built to get over feels less than the other two competitors. Huge fucking mistake in production there. Becky needed a huge entrance too. Becky needed what would have
Conor
been great.
McGregor.
Well, maybe not Connor. Maybe fucking Stone Cold. Maybe you have the glass break and Becky walks through it. Throw something to make her feel special, because she felt like the least of the three people in this match, and she was the one that was going over. Big fucking mistake right off the bat. Like I mentioned, I think they were trying to be too stiff. I think that was my biggest issue with the match. Some of the spots were, but I understood why. The finish to me, and over and above the shoulders getting up, this is where Kofi main eventing probably makes even more sense, because the main event of WrestleMania shouldn't be a fluke finish that catches everyone by surprise. Even if you wanted to do the crucifix off the Piper's Pit, I don't even have a problem with that being the finish. Where I have a problem with it was that there was no build to that finish. It was just out of nowhere. With Kofi, with every other match on this card, you got a story that started and built to a crescendo, and you could tell when the finish was coming by the way they built the match up, and it made the moment special. And Becky's moment felt less special because it was just like, oh, it's over now. Okay. Like, there was no build to the finish. You could have that finish. That's fine. Have a fucking series. Becky gets the fucking disarmor. Ronda rolls out. Ronda applies the armbar. Becky gets out. Ronda goes for the Piper's Pit. Becky reverses it to the crucifix and wins. Perfect fucking ending. You can still use the same fucking finish, but you've built to that moment. And you've had a solid finish. The way they did this took away everything from this match.
No, you're not wrong. And to your point, when Kofi got put into the LeBell Lock the first time, the whole crowd was like, "Oh my God, what's gonna happen?" And then he went back to it. He wouldn't let go. He held on to Kofi's hand so much so that Kofi had to lift himself up and kick Daniel Bryan in the face to get him off of him. But we're getting to that point. We're on that ride. We know that the finish is coming. And in this match, it's one of my hugest problems with triple threats in general is that you have three working parts and there's always going to be somebody who has nothing to do. I don't think that's a good spot for Ronda because I don't think she's very experienced in working triple threats. She probably hasn't worked any of them. But this match, that's true. This match felt like it did 5 years ago when they were had to get off the air at 11. That's what it felt like. It felt like, oh shit, we need to go home, which you already kept us here for 6.5 hours. Why do we need to go home? Tell the fucking story. And instead, they hotshotted the whole match, and then it's like, oh, Becky's champ. What? It confused me. It was not a satisfying end to that story. And apparently it is the end of the story, because we're moving right along for Becky.
Well, everyone else is dead in that match. So,
oh, go ahead.
Jeff.
Troy.
I already said my opinion.
Jeff.
Okay,
Well, you were
so,
in the crowd. What was it felt like the crowd was
It
almost
wasn't-
deflated by the finish.
Yeah. So the finish wasn't. Nobody thought she won because we had those big giant fucking screens to see that Ronda's shoulders weren't down.
Yeah.
So that was a deflating finish in itself. I'm going to go against what Jason said, only in saying that the entrances, this would have been great if it was in the Daniel Bryan Kofi Kingston spot, because if you had that entrance and you had to build up Charlotte Flair and you had to build up Ronda Rousey and just had Becky Lynch come out normally, it would have been great. I totally agree with you, by the way. I love that helicopter entrance. I don't know why they didn't do anything with Becky at this point. In the main event, she should have had something.
So you disagreed with me and then reiterated exactly what I said? Is that what just happened here?
I'm saying, well, okay, so I'm saying that if this was not the main event spot where everybody's fucking exhausted and everybody's just, if it goes back to our point before, where if Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan close a show and this was in a spot, I think Becky coming out to her own music is a testament to who she is. She doesn't need anything else to come out.
She doesn't need special treatment.
Exactly. She doesn't need the special shit to come out to her. But the problem was, this is a fucking 7.5, 8 hour show. So at the end of the show, everybody's tired. You need that shit for Becky. You need something for her. So in that respect, I agree with you.
Becky doesn't need it. Becky doesn't need it, but when the other two have it and she doesn't, you're automatically telling me this one is the lesser of the three.
Well, I mean, technically, it's kind of true when you think about it.
But if you're the casual fan watching this show and you don't follow the product regularly, and there are a lot of people that fall into that category at WrestleMania, they'll watch WrestleMania, they don't follow the product religiously. If you're just that person, and you're sitting there watching, well, look at the fantastic entrance that blonde girl got, and wow, right, and that's Ronda Rousey, and she got this great entrance. Who the fuck is this girl? She just gets music and walks out like, oh, all right, I guess.
But that being said, I mean, Becky Lynch still got the biggest pop of them all.
Because a lot of that crowd knew her. But I'm talking about she was going to get the pop no matter what. My point is, to the crowd that does not know her, the portrayal you have given me is that of those three competitors, she's the least important.
Can I throw something?
And she is the one you are building this fucking match for, and that's a mistake.
Can I throw something at you guys?
no.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be as expensive as Charlotte's helicopter or as over the top as Joan Jett. She does this whole, or she used to do this whole Becky Balboa thing. Have a fucking video package of her training.
Absolutely.
Just something as simple as that. You don't need to throw a bunch of money in it, but just something that makes us seem like an underdog who's fighting against the brass.
But when has she done that?
All the time.
Should have her Riverdance out.
Becky has?
Yes.
Becky's gotten that crazy stuff going behind her
No,
all
but
the
it's
time?
Mania, dude.
No, but Charlotte doesn't get helicopter rides all the time either. It's fucking WrestleMania,
Yeah, but she's portrayed as this rich cocky.
That's
like,
Sal's point, is that Becky has been portrayed as the underdog, very similar to, she's called herself Becky Balboa on a regular fucking basis. The whole story of this match is that she's the one that wasn't supposed to get there, and she fought her way into it. So to Sal's point, it absolutely would fit that sort of thing, and it's not a major production thing, and it doesn't take a ton of extra time, and it makes Becky feel more important. She went into the start of this match feeling less than, and she, as the person that this match was built for, should never start off the match feeling that way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. I don't want to argue for the sake of Troy, but I get it. I'm just, we'll agree to disagree. I'm just saying that Becky, I don't think she needed. Okay, so the Kofi thing, that was the big. I'm telling you, that was the peak point for the live crowd, and then coming down, the next biggest pop was Becky, and she didn't need any of that special shit. She didn't any of that special anything. Everybody didn't care about the Charlotte Flair entrance. Nobody fucking cared about the fucking Joan Jett playing. What they cared about was Becky Lynch coming out, and everybody was going wild for her coming out. And
how was that reaction compared to how she won?
Well, I mean, you could have Ronda roll her up like that. You could have had Kofi win like that. Well,
right.
Maybe not Kofi. Kofi would have everybody would have.
No, but like you said, there was a lot of confusion, and that ending got fucked. But was the crowd popping for her high spots, or her
when she rose that title, everybody went nuts.
Okay.
I mean, it's just how it is. It's just people went nuts for her raising that title, and I just don't think I agree with you in the sense that maybe she needed something, sure, for the entrance, but
that's all we're saying, man.
I don't think it was necessary. I think her coming out to her own music was enough for her.
Can I say one thing about this whole WrestleMania in general? The production absolutely fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
So there was a lot of talk about that people, and Jeff, you can kind of cue in on this too. People looked at that set and was like, it's lazy. There's nothing going on with that set.
I had no problem with the set.
I didn't either.
My biggest issue was the camera work was real shoddy.
Yeah.
My God.
There was numerous times that they either missed things or they did that stupid fucking thing where they quickly jump back and forth and there's 32 cuts in 20 seconds. That was my issue with a lot of the production stuff.
It was fucking brutal camera work.
Yeah. Obviously,
I didn't see it.
I
was gonna say I saw it all from one angle. So.
Yeah, exactly. And there was yet again a delay in certain entrance, things and stuff like that. Bret Hart's music hit, and it wasn't until he was walking to the back that it actually changed the Titantron behind it to say Hitman. And then obviously the pyro was really off too. And I understand they didn't use it that much, and pyro was kind of hard thing to do, whatever like that. But it was really fucking delayed. The Bailey buddies didn't deploy correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
But that was all weekend, Troy, because the same thing happened to Kairi Sane at TakeOver, where she was out before her music hit.
Yeah, TakeOver did the same thing.
Yep.
I'm sure Raw did it too.
Yeah, I know.
I slept through that.
I know that they use a lot of the staff that works at the arena, for certain things like that and certain audio things like that. So I don't know if that was just that I don't know if that was the problem or what it was. But there definitely was an issue in terms of production.
It was fucking gross. I can only imagine what Vince's reaction was in the back, honestly. He must have been losing his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Fucking hire better people then. I mean, this is your WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Agree, but
like I said, I mean, you have to hire certain staff that works at MetLife Stadium because you random people are not going to know the controls and things like that, and not going to know certain different things about it.
Isn't that on Kevin Dunn though? I mean, he's directing this fucking shit.
there's only so much you can do. You have to
Yeah.
rely on the event staff. You sit there and you go, okay, we want certain lighting cues, but you also rely on the lighting guy to know don't shine a bright fucking light into half your audience's face.
That's true, but the quick camera cuts, I think that's done because
quick
he's done that
camera
on Raw
cuts
in
are
other
done.
cities.
Yeah, the quick camera cuts are definitely.
Well, camera cuts are always the director. They
Yeah.
call those.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, that's always been that's his new style that he's doing right now. That and when the fucking camera like jumps around with back and forth like fucking like the
Like House of
cameraman
Pain?
is like headbanging the fucking, to each one of the moves. Yeah, it's garbage. So Sal wound up winning our predictions this week somehow.
and Troy, I really wanted to ask Jeff about Takeover, but in interest because I love you, I'm not going to do that tonight. We'll talk about that another
I
time.
appreciate it. So unless we have anything else to say about WrestleMania.
No, I think we've exhausted all of our options for WrestleMania discussion.
So that does it for the rundown for this Thursday, April 11th, 2019. Yes, I did update it this time. Please rate and review, and we will read your reviews on air if you happen to leave them. We are on a lot of different places now. We've been on Skype, or not Skype, Spotify, iTunes, Podcatcher, any of those things like that. But if you leave a comment on our website on the episode posting itself and you want it read, we will read it for you. Just go ahead and go over to rundownwrestling.com and do that. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Network. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling. Email the show your dick pics at rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Instagram.com/rundownwrestling. YouTube.com/rundownwrestling. Leave us a voicemail, 617-863-6967. That's 61 Rundown 7. We are on Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/rundownwrestling to become a patron. All patrons will receive early access to shows on the Rundown feed, as well as some swag and original content. Right now, I know Making the Grade is there. A brand new show debuting tomorrow is actually there. You could be listening to it right now if you were a Patreon member.
Well, you waited till this point to drop the first burp on us, Troy, so I'm impressed.
No, Jeff burped as soon as we started the show, but that's all right.
Check out our website, rundownwrestling.com, for more information on all of our great shows, such as the Nitro Mania podcast, Hurry Up and Cruiserweight, Making the Grade, NXT Revisited, ROH's Honorable Discharge, and WrestleMania Salvation. You could, of course, go there right now and vote in the hottest female WWE talent tournament. Into our third round here, we're down to the sweet Sassy Molassie 16.
This is the Elite Eight, isn't it?
No, I thought we started with 64.
We started with 64.
Okay.
So 64, 32,
All right.
16.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's late.
No, it's fine. Listen to our friends at Kingpin Brian Malonis and Mike Crockett on the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing with new podcasts every Monday. Go to facebook.com/thewpan or thewpan.com. You can
Yeah,
check out-
big congrats to our buddy, the Kingpin, the Brawler, Brian Malonis, competing at Madison Square Garden as part of the Honor Rumble at the G1 Supercard, and I know what a huge thing that was for him.
Yeah.
Honestly, just so super happy for him. And check out their show. They did a quick thing where he talked about it this week, and I know next week they're going to do a full sort of coverage of behind the scenes of the G1 Supercard. So you definitely want to check that out too.
Wait, what? Smat, did you say I look like somebody?
Huh?
Smathers says that's who Troy looks like. Thank you, Jason. Did you say I look like somebody?
No.
Okay. Smathers, elaborate. I don't understand what you're saying. Of course, you could be watching us on YouTube right now. We now are going to be streaming live every one of our Rundown shows Thursday, approximately 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch Jeff try to reenact the Bohemian Rhapsody video as a single face in a black background. You can also watch him get upset.
Jesus.
Everlast.
I made a House of Pain joke, so that's probably where.
Everlast.
Everlast. Wow.
I don't see it, dude. Someone show me a picture of the Everlast guy, because I don't see it. Check out our friend Justin Michaels on the show Yes on Waltz. Go to yesoninwaltz.com or watch it on. Jeez, you get darker every fucking time I look at you, Jeff.
Yep.
You can watch it through your Roku with the RNTV app or the 24/7 Retro app. You can follow our host on Twitter at JStewart0920, at Rockstar Troy, at WrestleMania Sal, at Realist Tommy, at Johnny Analog, and at Ginger19876. Thanks to everyone out there listening to us. Thanks to Ginger.
Thanks, guys. Hope everybody's nice and tired and has a good day tomorrow.
All right. Thanks to Sal.
Thank you, Troy.
Thanks to Jeff.
That is the fucking scariest freeze I've ever seen. He looks like he's about to fucking kill Troy. Oh my god.
Thanks to Jason.
Thanks to Jeff for that freeze, so we can keep
Yeah,
that forever
right.
now.
Thanks, Troy.
Thank you, Jason, for our theme song. And again, thank you,
Wait,
Sal.
now he's still there, but his eyes are moving. I don't think that was a freeze at all. I think he's
No.
fucking with
Well, I
us.
fucking got kicked out of the fucking shit.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, I did. I got kicked out of the last second.
There.
Skype does not like links.
Oh, I know you thanked him, but thank you, Jason, for the awesome theme song. I jam out to that thing every time I throw on the rundown.
Hey, thanks.
And of course, thank you, Sal, and thank you, Anchor, for allowing Sal to appear on the show.
Asshole. You are a cocksucker to the end.
Oh, man.
You ain't getting rid of me that easy.
Yeah. Next week.
Although you could mute me and throw me out of the call.
That's true. Just not let you back in.
Have fun editing.
Thanks. That'll do it. And next week, we're going to, as always, continue to pleasure ourselves to pictures of beautiful women as the hottest WWE female talent tournament rolls on. So with that,
Just remember, those of us on the rundown have the same mindset. Our mindset is
Sputed!
undefeated.
Damn it.
that might be yours, but I feel pretty defeated at this point.
See you next Thursday.
Sal?
See your ass sometime in the future.
Jeff, your fucking face looks like a performance art piece. Like you're fucking. Jesus Christ, you're all black and your pale ass white face is just like. It seriously looks like something out of like Blue Man Group if you were white. Like White Man Group or something. I don't know.
Ginger?
See you later, guys.
Jeff?
Fuck Dodge Sobel.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
You approve?
No, 100%.
All right, good.
All right.
We're friends.
Bye-bye! All right.
Oh my god.
Thank you so much. Again. Okay. What? Let me see this link that you fucking... You typed an Everlast guy? Really?
Yeah, I did.
God.
It's not an insult. I thought I got kicked for that shit.
No.
I thought you saw it and then you just kicked me.
No. I don't know, dude.
No, I'm
It's
looking
not
at it
bad.
now. That's a look. Well, actually,
What the fuck? Christ.
I'm not saying... Okay, I like Everlast, alright? I'm just don't know if I see that he looks like me. Or that I look like him, I should say. He is, by the way, looking old as fuck.
Yeah.
I guess, maybe. I don't know. I know. I never think I look like anybody, though, so...
All right.
Yeah,
well,
no, I got the younger pics. I understand I don't look like a gray-haired dude, Smathers.
Like a hot.
You need to get a pair of those glasses.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't fucking see it.
I don't know that I see it either, but that's okay.
Wait.
All right, boys. Well, since I'm off the hook for fucking editing this week, I'm gonna take advantage of that and go to fucking bed.
Wait, Jason, you may want to see this. Hold on
Oh,
1
boy.
second.
I've never been so happy to get muted on a call in my life. Holy shit.
Oh, we're off of YouTube.
No. Should I
Alright.
take us off of YouTube? Before
I know you won't, whether I tell you to or not.
No, Sal sounded like he was gonna take his dick out. So
No, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
hold on a second,
I'm
man.
telling
I'm
you.
fucking editing on this shit. Come on, man.
I know. I'm gonna throw. I just copied the image. I'm gonna throw it in right now. Hold on.
Oh my god, dude.
Jesus
I
Christ!
go back
Do you
and watch
realize?
this on
Do you
YouTube?
realize that I have a fucking 1-month-old?
I have to be up in.
Well,
5
Ginger, it was a pleasure to do a show with you finally.
Oh shit! I forgot you were still here, Jeff. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, exactly.
See, you know what
Yeah, it was good.
If that's
If
not
anybody-
Jeff's Skype picture next week, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Fucking next week. How about now?
So yeah,
You got to do the same pose and then take a screenshot of yourself.
All right,
that hopefully nobody was offended by that joke.
Yeah, we're good.
who cares?
Oh, it's not even the worst thing we've ever said in the show.
It's not-
Yeah, but I wasn't even like trying to sound racist. There are allies, is what I said.
I know. It's just you saying the N word without actually saying it. I think that's
And-
what Jason almost quit the show.
And it was a hard N. It wasn't even ending with an A.
So if anybody's offended, apologies.
Yeah, not offended.
Yeah, fuck off, man. Don't ever do that shit again.
Fuck you, Jeff.
All right, guys. Jeff
Yeah.
has a one-man play to prepare for tomorrow, so we need.
Oh,
Thanks,
Goddamn right.
thanks again, Smathers. Have a good night.